Well, I mean, they fight sometimes, and
Yeah, well, I mean,
the
she's
steward
not
of
going
this
to
game
cause a
stopped
war of the
by,
gods because some mortal was brought back to life. Like,
I guess, but
I
he
think
can.
it
It's
brings up
okay to. I mean, he could take it personally, which I think he would. I think he basically feels like, hey, like at the very least, like, what is this
WTF?
like a joke? Like
Mhm.
you put her in front of me? Like, what are you trying to test me, or like what? What do you? What the fuck is this? Like, this is bullshit. I deserve better than this. Um,
Oh, so he's questioning the will of the gods.
Is this
not.
the will of the gods?
I don't know if he's necessarily questioning the will of the gods. He's. I think he would feel like he's owed more. I think he feels very hard done by and neglected. Very seriously neglected by his patron deity.
Good.
And maybe like he was used.
Good.
I got a whole thing written out. We'll pick up on that.
Next time.
Yeah, he said that he told you DARP, so I would like to be filled in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
gave
know
him
what
a
the
little-
speech is yet.
Yeah, I just gave him a little heads up on the general tone
Mm-hmm.
that I'm thinking is sensible. If you guys wouldn't mind, hop into Roll20 and give it time to load and see how your tokens move and everything behaves. I tinkered with the settings for Advanced Fog of War and the whatever, so that you guys will share Fog of War vision, basically. So
Cool.
you can't see into a room. You won't actually have vision of like tokens that are in that room, but you'll be able to see the general layout of the room, and that will stay. So you guys, I was watching the YouTube videos, and I kind of realized like how much of a pain it looks like it is to sort of figure out where everything is, and I hate having to like explain, here there's a door over here, oh there's something over here. Like I just feel like it'd be much nicer if for you guys and for me if
I really, really like Advanced Fog of War and the whole like being able to see places that you've already been. I try to enable that in my games as well.
Well, I noticed that when I was watching the Goblin Orgy part, and you guys were looking at doors that, on my end, it was very clear led back to the hallway you'd already been in, but you guys had kind of gone like around in a loop, and I don't think you couldn't see what was there, so you didn't know like what stuff was, and I was like, we already hem and haw over doors so much anyway. Let's like see if we can kind of keep this a little bit tighter and a little bit more legible.
Yeah,
Cool.
boy.
On the note of Roll20 things, any chance I could get you to add Sven as a character?
Forgot about that.
Also of note is there is a Roll20 announcement posted that they're going to do scheduled maintenance at 12 a.m. Pacific. So
That won't affect us at all?
I think that'll be past our cutoff anyway, right?
Well past our cutoff.
Okay.
We usually end at like 10 this time. Like 10 is like late.
Okay. Good.
So, there's a couple hours afterwards. So unless we go over super late because everyone's like working from home.
Yeah, I realized
and
after
like...
it came out of my mouth that I had swapped coasts. Because I thought
That
it was
happens.
East Coast.
East Coast would be a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be a very non-ideal time, especially in these coronavirus times where I think everybody's home and just clawing at the walls.
Not me.
Apparently,
You're
we're doing a test run of working from home on Friday, so all of our office personnel will not be at work.
Huh.
So that'll be interesting.
Smitty, I sent you mutated Vanya.
Okay.
As a private message.
Cool. Mutated Vanya.
I should probably get a Brock token, shouldn't I?
On Discord,
what
I should
token?
say.
Brock, my hedgehog.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the little icon we have is cute when he's, not flattened.
It is cute. It looks weird,
It looks super weird.
but
Oh, he's not a hedgehog. He's a badger.
Yeah,
I
it looks
think that-
fine for a badger.
A badge hog.
It was the best I could do, considering we were literally in combat with the boss.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all.
Yeah.
You did great. I'm very pleased.
Well, good.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make him a little badger knight and he's gonna be helpful.
All right, Sven, you should have control over Sven, Whitney.
Okay.
Actually, let me hold on. Let me not put this token because it's outside of the bounds of the dungeon. You might have been able. I don't know if you could see that.
I sure can't. I also don't see it in my.
Yeah, I didn't. I had to. Here we go. Can you use that guy?
I am not. Let me refresh. It says my connection to the server has been interrupted, so let
Uh-oh.
me retry this.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
You think
Sometimes I
that
get
seems
that,
like-
and everything's actually fine.
Do you guys have bad internet where you are?
No, it's fine.
Hmm.
'Cause the
Well, I just
Discord-
noticed
the
that I
Discord
hear.
connection's fine.
Well, I hear Whitney sometimes her Discord goes like robotic.
That's just her headset.
Okay, it's hard to
I
tell.
wonder if it's the headset or the Wi-Fi, because I'm the only
Yeah.
one on your Wi-Fi also.
I guarantee it's Bluetooth.
Whitney has this weird thing where she flickers back and forth between here and Venus.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm. True.
yeah,
Don't you hate
tends to
that?
interfere. Yeah. Unexpected space-time anomalies.
Oh, that looks cool, man. Tanner,
Thank you.
that is disturbing.
Yep.
All
I think
right,
it sells it.
we got the final boss. Tanner,
It me.
hit me.
Okay, so I see the character in my log or journal or whatever this is called, but I cannot move the token.
Boo. Doo-doo. What? This.
It is still laggy though, so I'll give it a minute.
Yeah, let's give it a minute and see. Be editing and controlled by Whitney, so you should control over that. Yeah, I'm gonna look at seeing if I can cut down on some of these journal entries and things because I used the book. The Roll20 module it's nice because it provides all the handouts and the journal entries so that you could theoretically run the entire game just using Roll20 without having to use a book at all. But I use a book in Combat Manager anyway because they're faster and more pleasant.
Oh,
So
God, Combat Manager is such a wonderful tool.
oh my god, dude, it's so nice, and it's got all of the custom NPCs from Runelords in it already.
Yeah, it has all the ones from Carrion Crown. I just realized.
Yeah,
too.
I think they've got almost all of the like main AP stuff in there.
Love that I can just look up a character name.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, I still can't use the token or click
The
the one
Sven?
for Sven.
Hmm. Oh, being a little slow. Oh, that's because even though the token is attached, I do not have the token set to represent Sven.
Now, unfortunately, you have to set the token and then reset it on the
I
character
know, isn't it
sheet.
fun?
It's great.
Not crucial right now anyway because we haven't leveled up yet, but
You will on next rest.
right.
Might as well do it now, so it's not disruptive later.
Oh wait, I didn't pick my spells. Oh no.
Yeah, I did.
I have not picked my single spell either, actually.
You get one spell.
One spell.
Yep.
Hey, that spell could save the day. Don't discount it.
It's a level 1 ranger spell, and I
Hey.
count as a level 1 caster.
Hey,
Goodberry!
Nope, can't do it.
save a life. You don't know.
Wait, you count as the level 1 caster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rangers are like, you know how some characters are half progression Bab
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or quarter? These are like quarter progression casters.
Yeah.
So their
Yeah.
caster level is not equal to their character
Correct.
level. Even
It's
though they
ranger
have-
level -3.
Yep.
That's
Right.
weird.
Same with Sven until I get a feat to correct that. So he's also a level 1 wolf.
Can you move, Sven?
I can now. Yes.
There we go.
Fabulous.
Yay, the active puppy.
Arf. Arf.
Next thing you
Hello,
know,
I am friend dog.
he's gonna die to a fucking what is that spell? It wasn't a channel negative energy. What the one that death save? from
Euthanasia?
carrying on?
Wasn't
Oh,
it?
I fucking had to ask. Like, you can't give Tanner that much time, like, to reload, because, like, you know it's coming.
Hits a little close to home.
Yep.
My cat was put down accidentally.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Jeez, Tanner, you're so
Definitely do that.
insensitive.
What does that mean?
Ah!
God
Honestly,
damn.
Zoo, I haven't
That's
heard you
brutal.
join in this ass like that before.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
I will tell you right now, I am so tired and I'm like slightly irritated and writing papers. So if my it's probably an alter ego kind of personality of just really tired. So I apologize if I end up being super snappy.
I think you're raging in real life.
I'm like rage. I think it's like internal, but like I'm trying to really watch what I say, otherwise it just comes out not very
I
pretty.
think this is
Let
like
it
the
rip.
post rage.
This is a what?
Like the post rage, because you take penalties after a rage, don't you?
That's
Yeah, because I feel like breathing feels difficult. I don't know. I don't think I have corona, but I'm like, ugh. That's how I feel.
All right. Well, channel that into your barbarian.
Okay.
Yep. Just look at your computer screen and go, "Ugh!" See if it gives you a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Blythe, can I have your creature so it can be like my support animal?
You called it a creature.
He's a person. You can't just have people.
My intelligence is a 7, so I would not know.
You are smarter than him, though.
Am
Just
I?
barely.
Oh, just barely. Huh? Interesting.
I wouldn't brag about that.
So yes, there's my forewarning. It's not my
Do you-
usual personality.
Do you guys have any recommendations for level 2, like wizard, sorcerer spells that are good?
Glitter
Level
dust?
2. Yeah, glitter dust is
Glitter
amazeballs.
dust is awesome. As we found out, even in our last Halloween campaign.
Dust
think-
is very handy.
Is Ray of Enfeeblement level 2 or 3?
Ray of Enfeeblement. I don't remember. I got
That's
that as a
level 1.
bonus spell.
It's also level 1.
Let me pull up Daria.
Raven Enfeeblement's level 1, so
Okay, never mind. I'll take a look real quick.
yeah, I meant to do this and then forgot.
It's all good.
I don't really know spells very well, but what
Is there a particular school that you need to stick to?
No, Arcanists are not bound by that. But if it's used, if there's like an item that casts a spell like that we need later on, that's always a good, because I have to have those spells in order to create those items. But
Invisibility is
okay,
a good one.
that's
Yeah,
a good one. I forgot that was level 2. How is that not already written down? Making
Invisibility,
invisibility is
glitter
for all
dust,
of us.
web.
Web is really good. Glitter dust is
Um,
good. Fog cloud is good.
You can do actually pyrotechnics can kind of give you similar effects to fog cloud, and it gives you a couple options.
Create
Um,
pit is level 2.
Oh,
well,
that's
you
been a
know I'm a fan of
lifesaver.
that one. Levitate is also level 2.
Vanya, the mutated barbarian, ends up in the pit. Tanner just loves pits on all his characters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I get dropped in a pit, I have to take a level in Barbarian. I think that's the deal. I think that's how it works.
If you want to have a lot of fun, Unnatural Lust is a pretty cool spell.
Well,
I just live that way.
okay.
Pyrotechnics. It's pretty fun. It
A
has
nat- yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say a natural lust could have been handy against the wizard too.
Actually, Raymond, if you went for the one that gives you like the vision through smoke, pyrotechnics
Yep.
is really good.
yeah,
Yep.
I would
because you can do
consider.
either blindness or cover
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
I would consider the saves that you want to target, and having something to target all 3 saves, so that because one of the most handy things on my bard was asking what its slowest save is, and then knowing which thing I could target. Because I remember trying to grease the rogue for like 3 rounds in a row, and he kept making all of his reflex saves. It's like, well, duh, he's a rogue. But so having like 1 will, 1 fortitude, and 1 reflex that are all like pretty decent type control spells, that felt really
Yeah.
good.
Pyrotechnics is nice because it's will
Will
and port, depending on which one you go for, and then I
don't
already
have to do a 2-spell cast just to get
Oh,
my
that's
combo
cool.
off.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you do one, I could do the
Pyrotechnics is
other.
very versatile.
I don't get many level 2 spells per day, so there's that problem. But since I have Vanish, I don't need to prepare invisibility. Actually, like, the spells I prepare are optional. It just takes me a full round to swap them out. Oh, I get 3 level 2 spells a day. That's pretty nice, actually. Better than I thought.
Any suggestion for my ranger spell?
Do you get
I get
Curate Wounds
1
for free?
No, I don't get any spells for free.
I don't know the ranger list. Is sort of the problem. So give me a
I
second.
mean, there's
Something
probably a lot of
druidy.
overlap with druid. Yeah, I would imagine.
It's
Well,
like
you have my
Druid, but
suggestion.
smaller and kind of worse.
Yeah, I mean, there you have level 1 druid spells, I think, effectively.
Lead blades will be good if we're in combat, but I'm thinking this next
What level is
game
Speak with Animal?
session. That is level 1.
I feel like that's pretty in character.
Mm-hmm.
That is good.
Yeah,
Could
I was kind of
be
wondering about
handy.
that one.
Luckily, the only horse you've run into so far could speak, as far as you know. He did often neigh
See,
hints
that's
at
the
you
other
guys.
part, is then we can basically force Ryan to roleplay animals.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Fabulous.
that's a really awesome ability.
Got a lot of experience with that. I don't mind telling you. All right,
I'm into it. Plus 3 plus my BAB is 3 plus 1. Okay. Are we going ahead and updating our character sheets in Roll20, or are we?
It probably depends if you guys are going to rest right away. You have a knocked out Nualia Tobin.
I think
in hand.
We probably need to.
Deal
Like,
with
if we're
her
going to
first.
explore the rest of this place, we need to sleep. But if we're just going straight back to town with her in tow, then we could probably continue on.
It's up to you guys. There are more doors.
More doors and more halls that lead to doors.
Yep,
And
more
we do know
doors.
there's a monster
Here, I
thing.
thought we were in Isengard.
Yeah, not quite.
Nope.
I can't remember.
Yeah, they were
how to
really
do it.
working hard to get to that level of epic. It was more like a Trizengard.
No, we're in Mordor.
You Mordored my joke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the crucial part that I missed. Luckily, there's this great YouTube channel that's got how to make multi-sided tokens.
That's actually my top video, believe it or
With
not.
tutorials. I absolutely believe that. That's a cool thing. Like, that's a very handy and nice thing to be able to make.
Well, that and the wiki for it is just terrible. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah, there's all sorts of, like, I mean, diagnosed disease is a good one. Because it's just like, you know what the disease is, period, end of story.
Yeah.
And then you get a bonus to heal check it, to treat it. And that's one that I don't get.
Okay. Good to know.
Well, I guess, never mind. I guess, well, Raymond probably won't get it. It's on the Oracle list, but I just realized that you're super limited with spells. You're not cleric.
Yeah,
I would
I mean, I
probably
can-
use a heal check for that.
I can prepare a new one each day. They're prepared, and I just know them. But I
Oh,
get
so you
one
know-
per day.
Got it. So you're like divine, so you get it like just.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm
That's
just
actually-
thinking, like, for this next adventure, probably speak with animal then.
Speak with animals is probably like your good default, I'd say. Unless
Yeah.
you need something else.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we're gonna be in combat, lead blades is good because it'll up my attack or damage. I think by 2.
Yeah. And then I think you get cure light wounds, right? No, that's a second level
Nope.
spell for you. Never mind. Never mind.
Fasting's hard. It's Blythe. I've kind of built her for this.
Magic make no sense. What is magic? And now you have magic.
Have you
This will
checked?
be
Have you looked at a ranger guide also for just top rated spells for
Yeah.
rangers? Okay.
I'm just
Cardi,
asking, like, for this
how do
next
magic?
thing.
How do magic? I think Cardi and Blythe are gonna have a little like training montage in town after we finish with this adventure. It's like how to cast spell.
Yep.
What was
Well,
your?
and Sven, because she needs to train him, because the only thing he knows right now is to follow.
That's fine. Training in town is good because that gives crafting time.
Keep in mind with pyrotechnics, you do require a fire source, like a torch.
Would an ion torch,
Nope.
ion stone work? Because
No,
it
it
has
does not.
continual flame? Okay, I just wondered since it was.
Oh, if it's
spell.
well, if it's continual flame, maybe.
That's what it is.
Well, pyrotechnics consumes the fire source because it is a material component, not a
Oh,
focus.
yeah.
So it basically, you cast it on a fire or you cast it on a torch, and the fire from the torch becomes the spell.
So then it would just be continual pyrotechnics. Forever.
That makes sense to
Kinda-
me.
It's like a big ass birthday candle, trick candle.
Let's see. How does continual flame work? I guess that's the real question.
It
Works really good
produces
on my dagger.
fire, but I think it's like has no heat and it never goes out. Not sure. Let me check.
Boy, this thing is really chugging.
Haha, now it's in your head.
Yep. I will continue putting it in all your heads.
I will continually flame you if you do.
Ba ba ba.
Okay. I guess I don't have to worry about setting up Vanya's token anymore because she is dead.
All the bombs go off at once.
Just
Everyone next
it's,
to me.
it's like a fucking Junkrat death. Just
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody around me would take. I think I have 5 left, so everybody around me would take up to 35 damage if they didn't, dodge. So half that would still probably kill everyone.
That'd be a lot, yeah.
It's a lot of ouch.
You guys are pretty low. I think actually the deal you struck. What was your second bar, Vanya, by the way? The blue
It's
bar?
my bombs.
Okay, so it's just
I just had that there. So I can set that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think see
I'll
if you
handle
can
that.
move that token. I think it should be good.
Where is that token? All I see is gray.
Oh fuck. Alright. Then there was some part of that I forgot again then.
Whoa, this is chugging. Okay.
It's really chugging.
It didn't chug until I tried to
Mhm.
move my token. And then...
Chug, chug,
Okay.
chug,
I
chug.
think it's going normal now.
Chug, 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 chug.
I may have dragged my token all over the place, though.
No, I think you're good.
Okay.
You ended up where you're supposed to be. Fuck, what did I forget to do? That's the question.
Did you said it can be controlled by?
Well,
Me?
it's the same. Your sheet's the same. So
Yeah. But you have to go to the token, and it's been such a long time since I've attached a token to anything.
no.
Well, isn't it just another side of your current token?
Well, no, you have to make a new token that has 2 sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have sight.
That could do it.
You're not emitting light, are you? Or are you?
I am.
Is it 30 and 60 or something?
You have that.
Torch
sword
should be
torch.
40 and 20. The kukri
Yep, that thing.
stuffed in my bandolier. Oh, now I'm busy.
Can you move that last?
Yep,
All right,
she
cool.
moves. Can
Yeah,
I flip her, or do you have to flip her?
I don't know. How do you flip it? I just know how to make them. I didn't actually. How are you supposed to? But you should have 2 sides in there. And I know Darp can use his. So
Let's see here.
Nope, still can't hear you, Chris. He says to right click the token and then something else.
oh, looks like if you right click the
Hello.
token, yeah, hello. It should say multi-sided at the bottom.
Got nothing. Right clicky,
Son-
no do.
Son of a bee.
yeah, mine's there.
Well, I did yours. Well, I don't want to go through this whole fucking shit again.
Unlimited power.
May have to. represents Vanya. It's got two sides, right? Yep.
Oh, this one gives me the option.
Okay. I think what happened is I didn't make the token represent Vanya before I attached it to your journal. So you still had control of it, but it wasn't actually like accessing the token properly.
Gotcha. I'll set up my light.
Well, you can move her and stuff though?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just can't see her, but I can see where she is, and I can select her and move her, so I can just set up my light, and we should be good.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ostensibly.
All right, let me grab my Bible. I mean, the rule book.
Do you guys want to see my mutated form?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Share with the class. I have to zoom in. It just looks like a black blur.
Very dark.
Yes.
She's backlit.
Yeah.
Can you shift Zir for me, Mr. DM? So we can get a real good look. Oh, so she's evil and I need to kill her now.
Yeah.
I like the idea that there's just a fucking red horror movie spotlight on a little like four-wheeled wagon that you're hauling
Yeah.
around behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it squeaks.
It's Cardi back behind me doing illusion effects.
Yeah,
Cardi's
whenever-
my hype man.
I
You
just
guys-
dancing light behind her and like
Yeah.
make it look red and like
Do you still have some of those potions? The fucked up potions that you guys had in the beginning that just glowed different colors?
Yeah.
And
Probably.
that one weird guy was like super obsessed with collecting.
Yep. Potions of radioactive element.
okay. So I guess big important question is how I applied any of these to my sheet.
I'm not like super worried about it, and also sounds like you guys are pretty much out of gas and deciding that you want to camp out anyway. So
Maybe I don't know that we've decided since we have this very dangerous cleric lady thing.
Yeah, we have a prisoner, so that might affect our choices.
I don't know.
Or I did not increase my level.
I guess I am still mutated, so.
How long does that last?
Right now, 30 minutes.
Okay, pretty good.
Yep.
What is it, 10
Very cool.
per level?
Yeah, 10 per level right now, and then
Okay.
eventually it'll go up to an hour per level.
I think you had used that. Yeah, right before you guys went downstairs, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't think that fight took more than probably like 5 minutes total. That would be long because
Yeah.
pretty much you guys just went down. He said his little piece, and then he ambushed his lover.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys fought for like 30 seconds. We're able to get the job done. Okay, are we good to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
For the most part.
In that case, yeah, you guys find yourself in this observation chamber, this strange kind of circular room that's covered with all of these old journals and scrawlings and pieces of paper, and looks like all these like artifact notes and things like that. And Nualia is unconscious but stable, I believe, in the corner where Roymond
And
had.
down.
And bound. Oh, you guys bound. Okay. That's
yeah.
smart.
That's what Blythe did
Ho
when
is-
she was there.
Ho
Alright,
is
cool.
tied up and disarmed.
Yeah, that is a good
Mhm.
idea. I believe I gave you guys all the gear
Yep,
before.
we
I think you
looted
guys
her
had looted
body.
everything. And I think you also looted the room or looked around for anything of note, and pretty
Mhm.
much determined that while there are some notes and artifact kind of stuff going on, it didn't seem like there was that much of monetary value, anything that like super caught your eye down here besides what she had on her person. And some very barbecued cat, if you guys are into that.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Barbecued cat outline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
cat is gone.
It was drastically overcooked, I think. Vanya likes her cat
I like my
very
cat well
incredibly well done.
Yep.
I have a note here that we gave the +1 bastard sword to Yuzu, but I also found a note where we gave you a +1 longsword.
I think she has both now.
She
Oh.
does.
Okay.
I don't think anybody had expressed any considerable interest in either of those.
Yeah.
And I think she's still using her greatsword, is she not? For the most part.
Usually it's the
I thought she-
longsword, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
she has a
it?
longsword, and the last attack was a longsword at least.
Oh, okay. Probably is using it then. That is a good.
So you should probably
Good
sell the
deal.
one that you're not using. Unless you want both. I don't know which one's better.
Bastard sword is definitely better but I don't think she has the exotic proficiency to be able to use it one-handed.
It's
So
still
for
better
her,
even two-handed, isn't it?
yeah, it is, because a longsword is I think 1d8 and a bastard sword is 1d10.
1 to 10, yeah.
And it's a martial weapon if you use it with both hands. She is not a shield person, so I
Gotcha.
imagine you want to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was, and I think you had gotten somebody had the +1 breastplate. I don't know if you somebody had put that on or
Yes.
decided. Blythe took that. The Masterwork composite longbow, which I remember us discovering is just a fucking longbow.
And we found a couple of those. So I know I
Yes.
have one. Actually, I think I have the Bracerius or what Brathasmus's.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think his is also sized for a medium creature, so I think you could conceivably wear that. Whereas, although you think hers would probably fit your form much nicer.
Wait,
Fair
there was also he also had a +1 breastplate? Or
No, he just had studded leather.
Okay, cool. I thought never mind. We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
no, he just had regular studded leather. Actually, it's not even masterwork.
Didn't mark that down.
All right, cool. All right, yeah, you guys find yourself in this room. You've just subdued Nualia. Orc von Kaskerkin and Lyria Kenja have fled arm in arm, looking like they're going to spend a few happy hours together before his plan falls to pieces. But he seems very confident.
I would hope so. He's gonna have a really great time for a few hours.
Yeah.
So what
Take pride in
should
my
we
work.
do with her?
Cardi looks down at Noralia and says, "Well, she's tied up for now, but I don't know how long we can keep her here. And if she does any of that channeling thing that she did earlier, that nearly killed Brock. I don't think I want to subject him to much more of it. Maybe we should just bring her straight back to town."
That might be wise, though I don't want to leave all of this behind.
Well, I mean, if we bring her, we've already killed all the goblins according to Auric. I mean, we can
Well,
always come back for the artifacts and stuff.
There are two in cells upstairs, but
Oh, and the baby. Didn't you want the baby?
yeah, we should go find him a home.
Berthasmus is also stabilized.
Oh, yeah.
You had left him in a cell.
I guess we have. What if we just like left them here and brought like the people that the guy was gonna bring back from Magnamar? What if we just brought them here?
The guards or the
Yeah.
reinforcements?
Yeah.
But what if? I guess Sandpoint only needs the reinforcements for this invasion that we stopped. So, yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Maybe just like put the manacles on her, like maybe behind her, and put her in the cell too. Or would she get out? I
I
don't
think it
really
would be
know
best
what
that
she
we
can
take her
do.
and leave the other
We
until such time as something can be done about them. Of
we
course.
honestly probably want to knock her out anytime she wakes up. I don't know how powerful she is or how to like stop her powers or whatever. I'm not even sure it's a good idea to keep her alive, to be completely honest. I mean, I'm all for redemption normally, but look at her. I don't know how to fix that.
She will be a useful source of information.
Redemption character. What does that mean?
Redemption character?
That's what she looks like. To refresh your memory, her left arm is like red and blotchy and is tipped with these like vicious claws. Her stomach is like slashed and scarred in the symbol of Lamashtu. She looks like she's in the beginning stages of a transformation into a creature much like the statue you had seen in the Lamashtan temple above.
You know, Damon, I feel like we should talk about Sarenrae sometime.
Well, I agree with Royman that we should definitely be keeping her knocked out, but I don't think we should just leave her in a cell and go back to town alone. Lord
No,
knows what
that
the four
seems
of
like
them
a
would.
bad plan. For all we know, she can melt the bars or something.
What would
I
we
think-
roll to know that she needs to present her holy symbol to channel?
She does not.
She doesn't have to?
But a religion. Clerics don't have to present their holy symbol to channel. They have to present it to cast spells, as far as I
Okay.
understand.
How do-
Channel energy is a supernatural
Channel
ability.
energy does require that your holy symbol is visible and able to
Oh.
be presented.
Oh, okay. Then roll religion.
I think I already rolled on that last time because I told them to attack
Right.
her holy symbol.
Oh, okay.
Grief or
Then
something,
nothing. You don't have to roll anything.
So
Even notice.
as long as we can keep that symbol away from her, then she will be harmless.
I guess maybe. I don't know how the powers of Lamashtu work. She might
If
have
she's
a
bound
better-
and gagged, she will have a very hard time doing anything.
That is fair. Let's do that.
Well, let's go ahead and work on getting her out of here and back to Sandpoint. It's only about a day's journey, half a day's journey.
Oh, okay. What?
Make another religion check with advantage, Roymond, considering that you have... yeah, fuck it. We're using advantage sometimes. Because you have her knocked out. You had the vision from previously. You've had all this experience, like looking at the Lamashtan stuff, and you guys have that monster book and everything. Just roll it twice.
Oh, God.
Okay. I don't
Jesus Christ.
I don't think you're able to learn much more than you'd put together previously.
That's a lot.
But ask me one more question about if you have a question about her abilities, something that might trip you up or something like that, as far as incapacitating her, and I'll try to answer it in a way that's helpful.
Say that again? Sorry, I'm not sure I...
So ask me one question as if you had identified her as a cleric, and if you wanted to ask a question about her abilities that you think might be pertinent to your plans to keep her restrained or whatever. You guys seem like you're afraid that she could still be a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable concern. Does her arm look like it's giving off any heat or anything? Is it like stone?
It's not stone. It looks like it's mildly fiendish.
Okay.
You definitely think that it looks like she's partway through a process of turning into a demon. And that if this process were to continue to its logical conclusion, she would probably transition from being like a good outsider into being like a proper fiend. But she is that's not completed to the point where that's actually like the majority of what she is. So for all intents and purposes, she seems like she is an evil cleric of Lamashtu, and that's probably what you'd have to worry about.
Okay. So I guess special attacks would be my
Okay.
question.
You think that she has access to ferocious strike, which would be she'd probably employ that claw into it. That's a ferocity domain, which would be when she makes a melee attack, she can decide to make it a ferocious strike, which deals an extra deals bonus damage according to her cleric level. And I'll give you Fury of the Abyss as well, which is similarly. Now I have to remember what Fury of the Abyss actually did.
Made her attack worse, if I
Yes,
recall.
right. That is a demonic power. Basically, just makes it so that her melee attacks get a bonus, as if similarly to like a sort of like an Inquisitor's Judgment. It's an enhancement bonus to the attack on her to hit and damage rolls, but nothing that seems like channel energy is probably, if she's bound, that's probably the closest she's got left, aside from spellcasting.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think if we just bind and gag her, that'll probably be enough. I think we'll have to take her back to the father to see if there's anything they can do for her to reverse whatever this is. And he gestures at her fiendish arm.
Well, if someone has the manacles, we can put those on her and a
I think we actually
gag.
put those on her last time.
Oh, did we swap it?
Mhm.
Okay. I just remember it was a rope at first because that's all I
Yeah.
had.
I mean, we'd probably
Yeah.
keep her tied up.
I mean,
with
why
rope
not
and
both,
manacles.
.jpg?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Cardi says, well, in that case, let me just pack the rest of this up. Puts like some stuff in his pack, some stuff in Ryman's pack, and says, well, Damon, you're the big strong one. You mind carrying this lady upstairs? Let's go get the baby. I don't think we should leave that here overnight.
I can if you don't feel up to it. You do look pretty rough right now.
Yeah.
Can I just drag her?
Blythe
I
will
mean-
go over and just pick her up.
I'm
Yeah.
not opposed to it. I mean,
I'm sure you're not. You're used to dragging women that way, but we'll treat her with slightly more dignity.
What is your strength, Blythe?
18?
Oh God, yeah. You can hoist her up over your shoulder, and you'll take like a moderate penalty to movement, but it's nothing sufficient, nothing crazy.
Dang,
Yeah.
you and I could arm wrestle and would be even.
I thought so. I thought we had ended up doing very similar builds
Mhm.
stat-wise.
Depends on whether or not you're raging. Are you mad?
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mad, she got nothing on you.
Isn't it like +4 to strength for raging?
Yes.
Super good.
+4 to strength, +4 to con.
Damn.
-4
Real
to anything
good.
that affects your mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess let's go get our other prisoners.
Hey, you guys really
I
taking
think
a
we
lot of
might
prison.
be fine leaving the others overnight. I mean, I don't know about you. I've never starved in a single
The
night.
goblins will keep.
But the baby, we should probably take the baby.
Did we have a free cell that we could put her in?
There are like 6 cells upstairs, and you guys filled like 3 of them.
I think we could probably just start our own little prison. What do you guys think?
It's a bit far away from my other interests.
I don't really want to
you
stay
can
here.
But think of it. Sandpoint will pay us a stipend for each prisoner that we have, and we can keep them here.
Is this part of your redemption plan?
Yeah, they will eventually become productive members of society again. And we get
I'm
paid
a-
for it.
I'm a little bit curious, Roymond. How were you dealing with this memory or like dream vision that you'd had, and the information in that? I don't think you've been straight up bluffing so far, but you haven't really been like super forthright.
Her and I had a brief moment last time where she recognized me and I her, but it didn't seem like it meant anything to her. So I don't know that it's really at the forefront of Roymond's mind. He definitely doesn't consider. I mean, it's definitely informing the decision to try and redeem her rather than just kill outright.
Right.
But he's already kind of that way by default. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys already saved or have already spared much less appealing characters. So it's all good.
But I figured that would pop up later. I didn't think it would be a right now thing, but
I'm not like telling you need to. I'm just a little curious because you were just asked like about this like redemption plan, and it was more of like a reminder than an enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
Blythe will just kind of start carrying her toward the door and up the stairs.
Oh,
and
I can help.
back the way.
And like, Roymond helps carry the other half of her, like a.
Okay.
But it's like, since I'm so much shorter, it's kind of like a wheelbarrow situation.
Yeah. Who's got her arms and who's got her feet? I guess.
I think I'll take her feet.
Okay.
Right?
My original image was like just Blythe had her over her shoulder, but if Roymond's helping, we can do it.
Yeah.
Backing
I
away.
can help. I got it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll go backwards then, and you get the.
Don't hit her head. Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Her long white hair, this like pristine Azamar hair. Roymond, as you're following along, you notice that the floor seems a lot cleaner where you're walking than it was ahead of it. You guys seem to be just sort of sweeping the floor
than prestidigitation
with her long, beautiful angel hair.
It'll be fine. She'll get over it.
I think she might like it better this way. Really? I mean, look at.
You're probably right.
Probably so.
I don't think she minds a little bit of dirt and grime. She's
So,
probably trying to get to hell if she.
Have you guys thought about where we want to sleep tonight?
I think we should try to make our way back to the temple, back to town. I don't even know what time it is.
We've been in this dungeon for a long time.
It might be a little late. I'm not sure.
Well,
we rested previous to coming down here.
Yeah, I think you guys had, by the time you got to Thistletop, I think we had said it was in the evening. You had finished the evening by killing most of the goblins. Then you rested over the night, and then it was basically morning when you had proceeded into the lower level, fought Bruthasmus, and done that. So it's probably
we fought Bruthasmus, and then we found Auric and rested again, didn't we? In those beds.
No, you did not rest after.
No,
we did not.
We just made an agreement and marched on.
Right.
We spent some time making that.
I'm like 90% you didn't, because you guys were all running on fumes when you got down here, and that was the only thing to do. Like literally, you met Auric, then you went directly here. So yeah, you had not rested. So it's probably maybe like, let's say like afternoon or evening, early evening, like 3 p.m.
Okay.
Would we know if we can get it back to Sandpoint tonight?
Oh, you can.
Would I
Yeah,
roll
it
something to
only
know that?
it'll. Well, you guys had traveled out here. It only took like 3 hours, I think.
Okay.
But that was
To get
just
to
us,
Thistletop.
though, so I don't know if it's.
Well, we have an extra horse.
You have horses. Well, you had bargained Shadow Mist to Oric.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yes, we
My
did.
concern is that we're now hauling people and goblins along with
Just
us.
one.
We
Just
are
one,
not
and a
taking the other
baby.
goblins.
Not taking the other goblins.
Oh,
I thought that was very clear.
okay. So
Like
okay,
we
this
can-
needs to be an in-character discussion.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
I
we had
mean-
said that in character. I just don't know if you heard it. I guess.
I think
Okay.
I was able to talk
Remembered
about
it.
it later. But anyway,
So we're taking her back, Blythe says this as they slowly make their way up these stairs, and I can't move to the next level. Which
Me
Oh,
either.
I should probably move y'all.
So we'll carry her back to the horses and go back to Sandpoint. Then that's the plan.
I
I-
guess.
Well,
You know,
let's go
Damon
get
looks
the
a
babe.
little beat up. I'm not sure about forest travel here.
So tired.
Yeah.
Just hold on.
It should only be a couple hours before.
Can you, hey, since you're as strong as me, can you carry me?
You want me to carry you back to Sandpoint?
you guys are carrying Nualia between you, and Damon just decides to use Nualia as like a hammock or like a palanquin or something. He just like lays on her, and he's just like, I'm really sleepy.
You gain 6 hit points there, bud.
Cardi's going to get the babe.
Okay.
Oh, I was following you. I'm sorry,
All
this
right.
is the wrong way. Wayman, we have to turn around.
Why are we going this way?
Aren't we taking her upstairs?
Yeah.
Cardi-
There's
Cardi's
go
getting
there.
the baby.
stairs here and there's stairs there.
Yeah,
you guys
Vanya's
kinda-
going with Cardi.
It seems like you guys are having a much easier time navigating the map with the fog of war.
I can't see anything
no.
other than black.
Actually, no, I can't.
There's no
No?
advanced
Fog of
fog
War
of
in this
war
one.
occurring.
Oh,
I
I
can see,
don't
like into
don't
the
have it
next
on
room,
this.
kind of, but
Whoopsie!
Set it on the lower one. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. Y'all ought to be
crash.
good.
That's still not
nope.
doing anything. It's the same. Yeah.
What?
It's okay. We're trying to leave this place anyway.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I should do a
Don't
video
strain
on
yourself.
Well, I just changed the settings to the same as they are on the other ones, so you'd think.
I mean, I'm seeing the places I've been.
That. Oh, we're not. That's weird.
He has dark vision. Do you think that
No.
is
No,
affecting
I
the
should
tilt?
still
Fine,
be
you-
able to see everywhere we've walked.
Vanya does not have dark vision either, so
Hmm.
just me and Damon.
Though that would be cool.
Settings are identical between
It's
the two of them.
great.
It's
Hmm.
weird.
Oh, I don't have an advanced fog of war view distance. Do you have it checked to do low light reveals?
Yes.
Oh, I don't either.
Dim light reveals. But well, it shouldn't be any different. Unless you guys have old tokens on this map or something, but I don't think you do. In any case,
Yeah, it doesn't
let's-
matter. It's fine.
let not get too bogged down into it right
Okay.
now.
I grabbed the baby.
Okay. Yeah, you move into the room. You see the squalling baby, and it looks up at you and just starts like crying.
I cast prestidigitation to make dancing lights, and then like make little wisps appear around
Okay.
the little baby's head, and just like dancing and say, "Hush, hush, now, little one. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you out of here. Come on."
Okay.
I pick up the baby and I just like rock it in my hands and
Yeah, it's easy.
It's unfortunate that neither of us are in our most non-threatening appearances.
It seems to be having a good time playing with Cardi's luscious pink block.
Luscious, yeah.
careful of it. Ow, that's kind of hard. Don't pull
I
so
told
hard,
you
little
to
one.
trim
It's
that
just
thing.
grabbing your beard and just like it's just
Vanya,
like
it's in the front to dwarven culture to trim
Just
a beard.
trim it. Trim a little.
No, it's very well manicured. Well, it's mostly pink because of you. So. And I carry the baby out to the.
Okay. And you guys are not going to the prison cells, are correct?
Um,
No.
You guys are done up here. Or down.
Are we leaving everyone here in the cells to rot? Are we sending people back later to come get them?
We'll
Oh,
send them
yeah,
back
The
later.
ranger wants to deal with Bruthausmus.
Yes, I'm
I
fairly
guess that's
certain
fair.
Lily will be happy to have
Are
Bruthasmus
we
on
sure
board.
they won't like die in the cells?
No,
Most people don't
Should
die after a day of not eating. Like they'll be
Did-
fine.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll pay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We're not traveling to the other side of the world. It's just Sandpoint.
That's fair. Yeah.
And yeah, Cardi heads out, and I guess like unless there's something in the way,
No, not really. You guys are just heading back to your horses?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be quite the trudge getting her back through the.
Oh, the fucking rope bridge.
Well, you
Well, the
guys had
rope bridge
reinforced the
and the-
rope bridge.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But the
thicket.
tunnels
Yeah.
that were like really low.
Yeah, I guess that could be the only other issue. But
when we
I think
get when we get to the thicket, Cardi hands the baby to.
I can take her.
Well,
Or
no,
Or I don't know.
I hand the baby to Blythe and say, "Here, Blythe, why don't you carry this one, and then me and Roymond will, since we're short, we can get through the thicket with her."
Oh, okay. If you're
Okay.
sure you got it, and she'll just kind of hand you her arms,
I'm
wherever she was holding.
not gonna bother dragging a token for Nawali out,
That's
like
fine. Yeah.
dragging her along with you guys and the baby, but you've got them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are dragging them through. As you're on your way back across the bridge, which you guys had reinforced, you don't hear anything much except the baying of three of the goblin dogs that are still alive and tied up in the brush. Having spent so much time in this brush, you think that you can probably make it out without really. By moving carefully and taking a little bit of extra time, you can navigate your way through and not prick yourself on any of the bushes or anything like that. So I think it's only going to be a problem if you're trying to like have combat and move like very speedily through it. Otherwise, you guys can take your time and drag everything through.
Cool.
So
Well, I take as much time as I need.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Oh yes. Yeah. Watch that little branch there.
I gotcha. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's go to. I had a map at one point, did I not?
A
I
region map?
remember a region map.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Oh, here we go. Okay. You guys are at Thistletop, which is. Can you guys see?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, good.
I thought it
was
was over
like-
here,
Nope, it is here.
all the way in the Nettlewood. Okay.
It does look like that, but that is not the case.
Oh, this is unitless. I don't know how far this is.
Yeah.
92, obviously.
But it said that it only takes a few hours to travel to Thistletop
Okay, it can't be
by
far.
horseback. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's
So this
It's
is
probably only like 10 miles or so.
So this is minutes then.
Yeah, how did they set this up? I mean,
I have
it's
an answer.
very clear.
They didn't.
Yeah, maybe perhaps they didn't really set that up with anything in mind. And now I can't remember where it said how long it took to get there. But for sure, it wasn't that
It
long. I
couldn't have
remember
been
being
bad because we didn't
surprised.
camp in the woods or anything.
No,
so.
you didn't have to
Yeah.
camp in the woods.
I saw Thistletop there, and for some reason I read that as Tres Leches.
Yes.
I think I want cake.
I think
Yeah.
you definitely want cake. I'm game for cake. Let's go get cake, Tanner.
Let's do it.
It says it's only a 6-mile journey. The map Sandpoint Hinterlands on page blah blah blah. If the PCs follow the Lost Coast Road east, they can reach Thistle River, crossing relatively quickly. It's only a 6-mile journey, which is 2 hours by foot.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, very short.
So
On
not
horseback, we get there in like
that far.
45
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, you can see. I think you can just see it.
Yeah.
You can just
Yeah.
see Sandpoint from the river here. So it's really not that
Yeah.
bad.
All right. The scale.
Wow,
of the
that
map
really
is
does
a-
not look
Yeah.
correct.
The
Huh?
scale of the map is very deceiving.
Wow.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
look like mountains and are in fact pointy hills.
Yeah.
6 miles is like not that far
Yeah.
at all. So
Yeah, I
Shanks,
agree. I think it's
Shanks
the
Wood, you
mountains
could
that
practically
throw
see.
it.
Yeah, that's really not far. But that's what it says. So
Yep.
good to go with what the module says.
Amen.
So yeah, it doesn't take you too long. You guys have the horses. You figure that even taking like the utmost caution, you could throw Nuwalia bound over the back of one of the horses, and even like lead that horse, or you could two of you could Royman, you're small, and you could double up on somebody's horse. Maybe you and Cardi both double up on a horse because you're the two smallest.
I just had a little pony.
Oh, okay. Well, you can
Yeah.
put you could throw her on a pony probably or something. Anyway, immaterial.
She's just
Um,
dragging her legs and arms,
Yeah.
like
Roy was
dragging
just
in the
trying to
dirt
get
the
Yeah.
her
whole
arms
way.
and legs out of the dirt
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah. As you guys get, you're probably going down the road like 10 minutes later, and Blythe, being the perceptive one, even with half of an ear missing, you could hear the sounds of stirring, and you look over to see Nuwalia kind of regaining consciousness, and she just sort of looks up and goes,
Sure, her mouth is
Oh.
bound.
Guys,
"Oh,
guys, she's waking up.
Yeah.
Knock
So
her out again.
if you just want to keep calm and not
mm,
freak out,
mm,
then we won't have to knock you back out, and you can just enjoy the journey. Yep. We're heading
You just
heading back now.
you see daggers out of her eyes, and she is definitely fixated on you, Raymond. Considering that you're probably the only one she really knows, or has interacted with enough to have any kind of association with. And she is just staring daggers at you, and you just hear like this growl coming up from her throat.
Yeah. That's not very cool of you to do, because we didn't kill you and we could have. So I think that you owe us one now.
She does not look like she agrees with that assessment at
Okay.
all. If you're gonna actually try to, you could say whatever you want. If you want to try to influence her opinion, then you'll have to roll for it. But
There you
yeah,
go.
she definitely.
There you go.
Okay,
Good check. Good check.
all right.
Yep.
Um,
That's
It's
solid.
not good enough though, because I think hostile is 25 plus her charisma.
Probably.
It's
Well, her
hard.
charisma would be negative.
Well, she's an Asimar. I don't think her charisma is actually negative.
Yeah.
She's just half transformed, so maybe.
Just-
You'd have to decide if she's hostile or unfriendly, and I'm pretty sure I know which one you're gonna pick.
I think she's
don't think
definitely
that's a debate.
hostile. You guys did beat the shit out of each other, burn her, and just foil her whole kind of like life's work type dream thing. So yeah, it's not great.
Kind of gave her a bad time.
Yeah. And you can tell just by looking at her admittedly scarred form, but her charisma's high. You think that if you met a merchant,
She's a
and
pretty lady.
if you met a merchant going down this road and she could speak, they would probably think you guys kidnapped this Asimar,
Which is
for nefarious
technically
purposes.
true.
Then we would just point at her fiendish arm and be like, "We're taking her to get fixed."
That's true. So you rolled very well, but yeah, hostile is 25 plus the charisma modifier. So yeah, she looks like she understands at least enough of where you're coming from. Like she's not a complete idiot, but she definitely, she's not
Right.
feeling any more friendly toward you.
So,
But the rest of it,
y- you know, why? What happened to you? I guess you can't really respond, but I,
No.
yeah, no, that's gonna stay in there because you know how to cast some pretty dangerous spells, and we don't really want that to happen right now.
It would not turn out well for any of us.
She
Yeah.
just starts like jerking and kicking. She looks like she's trying to like get loose and get at you.
That could, I mean, you might get hurt. Be careful.
And then she
Do we need to
kicks her way
attack
off
them
of the
first?
pony, just falls like onto the dirt.
Blythe will stop her horse and turn
Yeah,
back
Cardi
to help
stops
them.
the horse and just like reaches
Mhm.
into his bag,
Oh.
and just like pulls out a. What do I have? What do I got?
You look at her and she seems to be looking down at her leg, and she's just going.
What? Damn it! And Raymond will stop his horse and jump off, and go like roll her over and sit her up.
Vanya has her crossbow pointed at her just in case she tries anything funny.
Yeah.
Blythe is out standing, kind of standing, watching them with her sword, like ready, not necessarily like aimed and about to attack, but just prepared.
Damon's
assuming-
just a little bit confused.
I'm assuming you've also got her feet bound together,
Yep.
Oh yeah,
like
she trussed
hogtied.
up.
Since
Yeah.
we added the manacles and the rope.
Yeah.
She's got manacles around her wrists. She's got rope around her upper arms and torso. She's got rope around her feet. Rope around her
Sounds
legs.
like a good night to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
She's-
seems to be sort of coming to this realization as well, and realizing like, okay, she is properly hogtied and manacled.
Yeah.
And whoever it was that rolled her over, she looks up with anger, but she looks like she sort of realized, like, all right, this is, especially as she looks at Vanya aiming the crossbow at her. This is really not going to go. Like, this is not going to work. And as she kind of woke up and was collecting her surroundings and everything, now she realizes, okay, this is not good.
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. You've done some pretty bad things in the last, I guess, couple weeks, if not longer.
She kind of bobs her head from side to side, like,
Yeah, there. I mean, we found the bloodied body. You know. Yeah, there. I mean, and that's probably not the only person that there's been, killing. And then there was the whole goblins in Sandpoint thing. Even as a distraction, kind of
It was
orchestrated
very
that.
disruptive to our business.
And it got a lot of people hurt and a few people killed, and you're gonna have to answer for that.
Some people lost all of their glassware.
Yeah, there was some lesser things that weren't people's lives.
Raymond.
Priority.
Perhaps we should stay away from the glassware subject.
Fair, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I don't know what that will all cost, but you're gonna have to repay some of these things. There's
453 gold pieces.
Well, I am sure that she can work that out eventually.
With
but
interest.
Cardi goes over to Vanya's horse and like just puts a hand on Vanya's knee and just goes like, "Shut up, Vanya. You're not helping."
she looks at whoever of you is probably wearing her money pouch on their belt and is just like giving you a dead stare. Like,
yeah,
you guys
that's
are talking about like repaying this stuff. Like you guys literally looted her, and it happens took all her money.
well, it's just there are some things that you need to make up for now, and I don't think that it is our place to decide that that means your death, but that may be what justice wills, and that's just something you're gonna have to come to grips with. And I'm sorry about that, but these are kind of the choices that you made to get here.
She looks like she's like trying to talk, like, but you can't really understand her.
Well, guys, what do you think? Should we uncover her mouth or?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I
What?
mean, this seems like a bad. I'm not one to judge, but this doesn't seem like a great conversation right now.
I just
Not
yeah,
until we can get more people
I don't
around her to contain
understand
her.
why people are talking to someone who can't talk back.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
us-
I get that.
Mostly
Let's
just
just
explaining her situation so she's not, as confused.
Oh,
Let's just get her back to Sandpoint and let the constabulary there deal with it. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been called the heroes of Sandpoint, but I'm not going to take any
Yeah, I don't think I want to
lawful.
be the vigilantes of Sandpoint.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, I'm gonna put you back on the horse, okay? And Blythe will like say this as she slowly walks up to the girl and puts her back on the pony.
Yep. You just hoist her like a bag of feed or whatever, and just sling her
Potatoes.
over the back. And she seems to not overly resist anyway. And she just kind of mumbles something like, but you can't understand really what she's
Yeah.
saying, but she just
If you
lays there
fall
dejected.
off, like, or start to feel like you're falling off again, just like grunt loudly and we'll readjust, okay? And Blythe will give her like a thumbs up as she's walking to her own
Mhm.
horse.
I think we could probably arrange her side saddle now, right?
wait, how could you give a thumbs up if she's tied up?
No, Blythe was giving her a thumbs
Blythe
up.
gives the thumbs up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
walking away, thumbs up, you understand? Okay, I'm
Mm.
moving.
You see her manacled hands like lift up behind her back. She just gives you a thumbs up.
Mhm.
I will want to ask you some questions later when we get back to Sandpoint. There's some things that I don't
Mm-hmm.
quite understand.
She
She
just like leans over and whispers to Vanya like, "Why you're such a raging bitch."
Who's a raging bitch?
that's perfectly in character.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Cardi just like face palms as Vanya says this, and is just like, "Her," and points back to Royman's horse. Not you, Vanya. Oh my god! How much of that mutagen did you drink today?
I had at least 2 doses.
Is
It-
it
Well, that's nothing.
Does it affect your hearing?
I thought it was safe to have multiple
Yes,
doses a day.
actually.
In a bad way?
Yes.
What? That seems bad.
There are several prominent alterations to my skull that affect my auditory capacities. Also, sight and hearing are affected.
Is it permanent?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. I was actually recalculating the expense of all my glassware.
Royman, Vanya
20 Olympics.
Vanya takes her glassware very seriously. Ah, God, I'm
I-
still thinking of Vanya's voice now. I can't get
Yeah.
back into my Irish.
Well, maybe you guys are affecting each other or something. Who can
Vanya takes
say?
her glassware very seriously. I think you should probably just not really talk about it, because she's gonna be really upset no matter what you bring up.
I didn't bring that up though.
Damages. The damages.
All
I
right.
don't fault you for bringing it up. I just want my things back. I want my life to go back to the way it was, where it was quiet and I didn't have to go into stinking goblin shitholes and blow up people that I don't know.
Mm, mm.
You
Which
prefer
is
to go
not to
back
suggest that I want to blow up people that I do know.
I'm about to say, Vanya. Are you saying that you prefer to go back to the days where you're blowing yourself up?
You know, Vanya, I don't really know if life is gonna go back to the way it was.
Not with us standing out here in the woods,
Well,
trying to talk to a gagged woman.
Yeah.
it just doesn't it feel. I don't know. It just feels like something's different now.
I can enumerate the ways in which things are different now, but
Oh,
I
wait,
suppose
guys,
I know.
who has the baby? And Blythe looks
Oh
around.
yeah. I guess Ryman still
Just
has.
left the baby sit
Or not
outside
Ryman.
or something.
Yeah.
No, Cardi
That
had
would be
the baby.
hilarious.
Cardi has the baby.
Cardi has the
no,
baby.
not Ryman.
Yeah.
I just realized we didn't think of that, and it seems like a Blythe thing to notice after we leave.
Yeah.
That
so
would have
this-
been funny though. If it
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cardi has the baby sort of like swaddled to her chest, and is just like it's like attached, like in like a makeshift papoose.
Wait, is Cardi a female?
Cardi's both.
Okay.
Indeterminate.
Neither. Indeterminate. Depends on how I feel at the moment.
Okay.
No one's
Yeah.
checked.
Gender
It's
fluid.
fine. It's totally fine. I just didn't know. Who are we missing? Missing Vanya on this map?
Yeah, I was just adjusting my token
Okay.
back to normalcy.
All good. So after a while down the road, you guys arrive back at Sandpoint with Nualia in tow. And as you get back to the gate, you see a guardsman, and he sees you all coming down the road, and seeing the telltale bright pink of Cardi and
I guess that
the
would be-
rest of the group. He lifts a hand and hails you. And he says, the heroes of Sandpoint return.
Yes.
Hey, better charge. How you doing?
Could you send
What, sorry.
word? Could you send word to the constabulary? We
Oh.
have the person responsible for the planned invasion of Sandpoint and the other atrocities lately.
Okay. He says, we'll be running out of jail cells if you all keep up at this rate.
Oh, there's more. I'm sorry. There are more people.
I don't think that they're technically people.
He says, well, I'm sure nobody in town will accost you. I'm sure that Sheriff Hemlock is returning soon as well. Hope perhaps you'll catch him. He wasn't in yet this morning, but I understand he's expected on his way back soon. And he points down. He says, "You all know the way, and you guys do know the way. You had been there. You had been there
Yeah.
before.
We'll take her to that place.
Yeah, I believe that's
That place
across.
that we totally remember.
That's across from the academy.
It's a jail,
I
'cause we took her
think.
there.
Maybe not. There's a barracks, but you guys. Boo. Oh, roll 20. You are really not having a great time, huh? You guys kind of ride her through the town, and as you guys are going, people are taking note of all of you, and you notice for certain that like quite a few people are looking at this weird bound and bloodied and kind of half naked figure. I guess if you guys took her breastplate, I think she's still got
She
like an
not wearing a
undershirt
shirt?
on. Well, she's wearing her breastplate, so I guess she's got like a kind of a crop top on. I don't think she should be like naked. But otherwise disarmed and bound Asimar on the back of your horse with this like clawy this like red clawed, half transformed hand, and they are just sort of covering their mouths and pointing, and they seem to not know what to make of the situation as you guys ride past. But pretty soon you arrive back at the guardhouse.
I think after Royman would notice the first few people staring and gawking at her arm and stuff, that I would probably wrap her in some form of cloak or drape to like hide her features.
Okay. Maybe they'd all kind of just assume that she's like a body or a bounty that you guys have brought back or something, which I suppose she sort of is.
I don't necessarily need to cover her head unless she seems amiable to that. But like
no.
But Royman remembers how she felt about people like staring at her all the time.
Yeah.
So he's gonna, try to avoid her having to feel that way again.
Yeah, she's looking around pretty angrily for the most part, and seems pretty
How does she react to me covering
put out.
her?
She just kind of looks up at you. I think that she holds your gaze for a second, and then seems to sort of realize that you are doing something partially out of the kindness of your heart for her, in addition to everything else. And she doesn't smile at you, but there's a brief moment where she seems to recognize this act of kindness and consideration.
Slightly less murdery for just a moment.
Yeah. She looks like she might hesitate before she killed you.
Only
If-
might. Only
when
might.
the opportunity presents, if the opportunity were to present itself again.
She'd kill you last.
There are 2 Damon
Oh.
Savage Moors there.
Yar.
Double the pleasure, double the fun.
I don't know how to get rid of a token.
Just click it and hit delete.
How?
Click the token.
Delete on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Whoa. Learned
Delete.
something new.
There's a delete key.
No, I learned that you could just click your token and then press yeah.
Yeah. It's great. And they don't
Simple.
have the tokens where you would expect them to be. So I have to go and copy paste them from a different map. Otherwise, we're just playing purely Theater of the Mind, which,
Imagination.
I think we have other tokens on this map.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
they're
have
by the bar.
Nawalia.
Yeah.
You have your tokens. You don't have the NPCs that I
How about we have some evil Vanya?
be there.
Wait, you're gonna drink a mutagen?
Nah.
It's
It'd take me an hour to make another one. I don't think I could do that on horseback.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not sure that I would allow that.
Being that it takes us less than an hour to get all the way from there to here, I wouldn't allow that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking up to the doorstep, you hear these like marching feet behind you, and you just hear a bunch of like oohs and ahs from the street. And as you look down toward the south road, you see this this formation of troops that are wearing slightly different armor than the Sandpoint Guard usually wear. And Sheriff Belor Hemlock is like leading them in this like step march as they arrive, and everybody's like cheering and clapping and clearly like very thankful. And as he sees you guys coming down the road, he kind of raises his hand and he says, "Have no fear. Have no fear. The guardsmen are here. This attack is doomed to failure. You are all safe now." And then he looks up and he says, "Heroes of Sandpoint, please join me in welcoming these guardsmen who are here to defend Sandpoint from the..." What is that? Who is that? Who is that person?
Perhaps it would be best if we spoke inside about this prisoner.
He moves up and then he goes. You just see his face kind of like fall, and lose a little color, and he says, "Oh, all right." And he walks up, opens the door, and steps in to a relatively small and modest guardhouse. It doesn't look like they really have cause to keep this place packed that often. It's a relatively quiet town, and he walks in and he says, Was that Nualia Tobin that I saw?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I
I
imagine
assume that
Blythe will
Blythe
carry her in.
brought her in, and you just like set her on this bench or something.
Is here okay? Should I put her somewhere else? I don't really know.
We should probably fetch the father. There's some religious things occurring. That
religious
he will,
thing.
there is some evil magics that he will want to deal with that are, I mean, look at her arm.
Blythe just points at her arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vanya
Her
will
belly.
volunteer to go fetch the priest.
Very well. Yes, I can send a guardsman, or you can go and get him yourself. And he nods, and I guess he doesn't have to dispatch you. You can just your character has free will.
Yeah.
She can just go get him, so that's fine.
Try and fucking stop me.
Yeah. Good luck. All right. Yeah, so you head down the road, and you notice that people are like pointing and seem to be gossiping. It's not taking long for news of these strange developments to sort of echo through the town. Although quite a few people hadn't actually seen who this person was, and most of the gossip seems to be sort of just speculation about this body or this cloaked person that
Right.
the heroes of Sandpoint have returned with. And you find Father Xanthus at his cathedral, and he looks up and he says, "Oh, if it isn't Vanya."
Father, we have she like looks around to see if there's anybody. Actually, no, I don't think she would. She doesn't care if she causes concern. I think she's oblivious to that. We have found Nualia.
Nualia Tobin,
Yes.
the Asimar girl that used to live here.
Yes. It appears that she has been behind these recent disturbances, and she appears to have committed herself to a vile deity, Lamashtu.
Oh dear.
And we would like your guidance and oversight as we attempt to question her.
He nods and he puts down this like holy symbol that he seemed to have been like tending to. He was in his office, and you came across him.
Polishing his holy symbol.
Okay, God, why? I literally asked for that. What am I gonna do?
You set him up, I'll knock him down.
Yep. That's the way she goes. He says, "Yes, by all means, lead the way." And he follows behind you as quickly as he seems able, which is relatively quick actually for an old gent.
We're both equally crippled.
As you are on your way back, and everybody else brings Nualia in, she looks over and she sees Tessuto behind the bars, and he immediately moves to the front of his bars and just reaches his arm through and he says, Nualia, my love, if you've harmed her, and Sheriff Hemlock just kind of looks over and says, Tessuto, keep your mouth shut. Everything's over. If you don't want to end up in worse trouble than you're in, you'll pipe down right now.
Wait, did he live?
Yeah,
Tessuto
brought
did?
him back.
Yeah, you guys had captured him.
Oh
We
yeah.
haven't killed any of the bad guys.
Okay, I thought we killed him by accident.
No.
Okay.
We are really good guys.
Yeah, you guys are like capital G good, as opposed to the good guys from my last campaign, which were like name only good.
Yeah,
So,
One of us was good after a
acting
profound
merely
alignment.
in accordance with
It's
goodness.
really more of a veneer of good.
Yeah. Just sort of
Being good pays well in that
Even
game.
that.
sort of a polish. I think Jack Jones took like a 1-level dip in good just so he could use the holy sword, and that's basically
Yeah.
it.
Pretty much.
It's like a good saran wrap.
Yeah, you just have a patina of good that had not yet wiped off. But you guys are actually good. And he looks at him, and the sheriff says, we'd better put her behind bars. You say that she's responsible for this entire thing?
It seems that way. We can probably let her speak for herself once the father gets here, and we're able to have a number of precautions. We should
She
definitely
was
keep her hands bound.
yeah, she was doing like the magic-y stuffs, and it was really bad.
Well,
I don't want
She's
that to
just giving
happen
like
again.
cute. She's doing the Puss in Boots
Puppy
eyes
dog
from
eyes.
Shrek
Yeah.
toward the sheriff, and he says, "Are you certain, Nuwalia Tobin?"
look at her arm, sir.
She just kind of like does that innocent like waving her back and forth, just kind of like, "Oh, don't worry about it." He says,
Blythe points to
Well,
her own wounds.
"Yeah."
And
Uh,
Damon's.
he sees the claw marks on her arm match yours, and he says, "I never thought I'd see another respected soul from Sandpoint turn so dark. This does not bode well."
Well, there might still be hope for her. I think. And he kind of looks at her.
What
with
you've
a
said is true. It
studying look.
will probably come down to the mayor. They'll have to make a decision about how to handle her trial. But if she orchestrated this raid that cost so many lives, I don't see her regaining her freedom anytime soon. She'll be lucky to keep her head.
Well, I suppose it depends on whether or not she had all of her faculties to her. She may have been taken over by some sort of fiendish entity. There's a number of things that are possible.
He says, "Well, in any case, someone take her arm," and he and I guess Blythe kind of take her over to the cell opposite or as far away from Tessuto as they can, and lay her down on the cot in there.
And I'm assuming we leave her with all her
Yeah,
rope.
that's my plan.
You leave her with what?
All tied
all
up.
the rope and tied up and everything.
Oh
still.
yeah. Well, unless you guys want to undo it, you had just said that you thought it was probably a good idea
I'm
to.
gonna leave her bound until the father gets here, and then we can take off her like gag and maybe have a conversation.
Okay.
With my hand floating away from her mouth, so if she starts speaking any spell words, I could just cover it.
Yeah, it doesn't take long before Father Xantus arrives with Vanya, and he steps in and walks up and he says, "Sheriff, I see you're back. I saw a dozen fresh guardsmen out front, or fresh Magnamar troops." And the sheriff looks at him and he says, "Yes, Father, it seems that it was all for naught, though. It seems that the invasion on Sandpoint was thwarted by our local heroes." And Father Xantus looks over and he moves over to the bars. Sorry, I'm going to move Ryman out of the way. And he takes a good look and he says, "Oh, Nuwalia, what have you done?" And she looks up and she looks almost a little bit guilty as she meets Father Xantus' eyes, but that kind of quickly hardens into narrowed brows, and she turns to Roymond and he turns to Roymond and he says, "Well, it's good that you called me. This one, if she has indeed fallen as far as you claim." And he gestures to the this like red raw claw-like arm, and he says, "Clearly, whatever ritual she has conducted in Lamashtu's name, it has already progressed to the point that she is certainly capable of harming folk still. You'll have to keep her under serious guard."
I was worried that you would say that.
He nods and he says, "Fortunately, if she were able to gain a holy symbol or craft something to use her magics with at this point, I'm afraid that she could at least seriously injure, if not wound, or if not kill townsfolk if she's able to channel enough of that demonic energy into one."
Is there any way that you know of to reverse the process of what's happened to her?
He kind of lifts his hands to his mouth, and he says, "There's only one way that I know for certain, but she would have to want to change. Even the deepest atonements can only occur when the one that seeks to sever this bond and this transformation and return herself to the natural order, she would have to make that choice of her own free will. We couldn't force it upon her."
Oh no, I wasn't trying to say so.
What is this? She had undergone some sort of ritual, I understand.
Yeah, didn't we? I think we found what we think may have been the body of, was it her father?
Yeah, we know it was.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're certain that it is.
Izakian Tobin is
Yeah,
the person
so
that you...
it seems that the whole goblin invasion was a ruse so that they could get their hands on her father's body and then perform some sort of ritual to desecrate the corpse in order to please Lamashtu and give her fiendish powers. I'm not sure what the next phase of that plan was, but I guess we could ask her. Not sure how forthright she'll be.
Didn't we know she wanted to sacrifice essentially the whole city to Lamashtu?
You did.
Oh, Royman
You
forgot
had
that.
found in her notes that it seemed that she thought that the next extension of the ritual after burning her father's remains was to burn the entire town of Sandpoint, and that would progress her transformation or perhaps complete it.
Oh,
Um,
so I would have known that then.
yes.
Yeah.
I'll wind that back a bit.
Okay.
And the next phase of her little ritual there, I think, was to destroy the town of Sandpoint and everyone in it.
Mm.
So,
Father Xantus looks at Nualia and then back at the rest of you, and he says, I can see that that could work. Similar rituals for Desna or Aristil. Completing great deeds can cause one to be able to undergo some sort of similar ritual. If Lamashtu speaks through sacrifice and pain, if one were able to cause enough sacrifice and pain while worshiping her and seeking her power, her blessing, her curse, they could bring that upon themselves, just as acts of virtue and heroism are the ones required for Desna or Abadar or the rest. He looks around at you all and then back to Nualia, and he says, it's possible that some change could happen. We all know that it can, but it certainly won't happen without some guidance. And he says,
well,
perhaps...
I guess we'll find out if she wants to face justice or be redeemed. I suppose
you look over and you just see she's just shaking her head back and forth through the bars.
I'm sorry, but those are really your choices right now.
Oh, you were saying one or the other.
Yep.
Father Tobin looks at you all and he says, well, let's start off with praying, and perhaps I'll come and visit her a bit every day, and we'll see where we are a few days hence. I have a feeling that depending on, luckily you all were able to keep the damage that she was able to inflict on Sandpoint to a relative minimum.
Not
perhaps
as little as I would have liked, but yes.
What were you trying to sense?
I was trying to see if he was being genuine about that.
Okay, you don't detect any.
Yeah.
You wouldn't detect anything. He says, what she did was terrible. She burned a holy place. She burned the cathedral. And killed her father in the process.
Bless you.
That one murder alone may be enough to convince Kendra to have her executed.
Well, that might be, I suppose.
Hmm.
Do you think it would be safe to ungag her?
I suppose that we'd have to do that I'm sorry, that's a different person's voice. And the sheriff says, well, I suppose we're going to have to take the gag out of her mouth to feed her at some point anyway. We can't rightly starve her to death. And Father Xantus, is that safe? And Father Xantus says, well, as long as she's deprived of the components she needs to cast her spells and is not able to move her arms or her hands, I suppose that should be fine. And Sheriff nods and goes in and pulls the gag down from her mouth. And Nualia looks up and says, a formality, but I don't have much to say to you, Father, or you, Sheriff. She doesn't seem to be interested in speaking much of her own volition at the moment.
Well, earlier it seemed like you had some things to say, but I assume that you were just kind of cursing us out with the gag in your mouth.
Yes, I had hoped to speak to you on the road here, but now that I'm in a cell, I doubt that any citizens of Sandpoint are going to give me a fair trial in any case. They're the ones that set me on this path in the first place.
Yes, but the choices you made along the way were still yours.
What choice did I have?
What do you mean set you on this path?
She just kind of laughs and she goes, you try growing up groped and grabbed and goggled at and harassed just for this. She just sort of, you don't understand how it's possible, but she seems to gesture with her head at her hair and her general form.
I can get that.
Yeah. And she says, being born in Asimar, bearing this curse was no more a choice than anything else that I did. There's only one way for me to get out from under this accursed birthright and that accursed man you call my father. I did what I had to, and I don't regret it for a moment.
So you think the only way to change from being an Aasimar is to become a demon?
It's not about changing from being an Aasimar per se. It's about getting revenge for what this town did to me, for what the people have done to me my entire life.
Don't you think that that's kind of a blanket judgment? What about, like people like me? I didn't harm you. There are certainly others in this town that probably didn't even know who you were. Maybe not many, but some.
Yeah, Father's answer just goes, pretty much everybody, I think, knew about the Aasimar.
But,
put her in the parade every year. That might have been a little bit.
Oh my god!
Made her stand in the square for hours at a time.
You know, even then, like there's certainly people that didn't do you wrong. Do they deserve to be punished for what the others did?
She looks at you and she goes, "Yes, everyone in Sandpoint deserves to be punished. Was that not clear?"
I mean,
it is now.
It's
you
clear.
see just a rage smoldering in her eyes. And she says, "You should know better than anyone what it's like to be treated like an outsider, like some sort of statue or object, not to be seen as a person at all. You know what they did to me. You know that all they wanted was to take and take and take until there was nothing left. Well, there was only one way for me to survive, and I took it.
Huh.
And you hear Tsudo from the other cell saying, "Yeah, me too. This town took all the stuff from me too. Do you guys want to know about my backstory?"
Not really, Tsudo.
Oh,
It all started when I was a little elf boy.
Can anyone cast silence?
Uh,
I'm kidding.
It will be loud for a moment, and then it will be quiet.
I like that.
when you say that, he seems to clam up and sort of look at the wall behind him and pout. Nualia looks up and she says, "Nobody and anyone in this town could have helped, but no one did. There was only one way for me to survive, and only one ally that I had in Sandpoint, and that was the Mother of Monsters. She showed me my path. She showed me how I could get out from under the burden of this place, how I could have a life of my own for once. Just a chance. That's all I ever wanted."
I think there's a number of other ways, Nawalia, that aren't an evil deity who wants you to murder people.
She sighs and leans back against the wall behind her, just sort of sitting on her cot with her bound legs out in front of her. And she says, "Well, I suppose that's the difference between you and I, Roymond. Because I was there, I took all the attention, and a lost boy with a connection to the gods like you certainly would have been the spectacle, but instead you had me to soak up all of that for you."
I think Royman like bristles a little at that. Trust me, I went through a number of my own trials.
She says, she looks at you and she says, "You think you had it bad with a bum leg? Try growing up extremely beautiful." And that's it. She thinks that that's like a serious, she thinks that that's like a comparable, she thinks she just like one-upped you. Try being so smoking hot nobody can keep their eyes off you. And everybody just loves you unconditionally.
He kind of side eyes at the father because he's trying to be careful about what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, "Well, I had. There's more than just the bum leg, but that's perhaps something we can talk about later."
Father Xanthus puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "It's been quite an ordeal. Perhaps everyone would benefit from some rest."
yeah.
If everyone wouldn't mind, I wouldn't. I'd kind of like a moment alone with Nualia, if that's all right.
Father Xanthus looks at you and Sheriff Hemlock says, "I think, Roymond, you've certainly proven yourself. As far as I'm concerned, have your run of the place. Just don't let her have one of those holy symbols, would you?"
Oh, okay. I was planning on giving her 5 and then breaking out into dance.
How did you get 5?
It's a joke.
He says,
Cardi chuckles in the background.
Bonnie just shrugs and kind of like mobily walks off.
Sheriff Hemlock.
Sure it's safe?
What?
Are you sure it's safe? And she kind of glances between you and the Asimar.
Well, no. You know, sometimes you have to take risks.
Okay, well, just like we'll be outside. Just scream loudly.
Yeah. That won't be a problem.
Oh, okay. And she'll part. Oh, and maybe have Tasudo like plug his ears or something? And she
I
kind of
don't.
shrugs, just
I don't
walking
really
out the
care
door.
what he hears.
Yeah,
Tsudo's just
before
got
she
his ears like jammed to the bars, like he's listening as best as he possibly can to like drop.
like right before Vanya walks out, she pulls one of her bombs out and does that like I'm about to throw something at you thing
Like that
in
clip
his direction.
from
Like,
the
what?
like the snowball clip from Stepdads or whatever. He's just like he just keeps pump faking again
Yeah.
and again and again. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tsudo like scuttles back from the bars. Yeah, he remembers.
What?
What?
And then
What?
she walks out.
Yeah.
So Roymond like looks at looks at a chair and thinks about pulling it up, and then realizes it's much bigger than he is. And just goes,
Sorry, Vanya, you rolled a nat 20 on your intimidate. Tsudo just like is like openly pissing himself as he kicks back on his heels away from the the bars. All right, sorry, Roymond.
Nice.
No, you're good. I don't want to hog
They're
the
important
spotlight the
details.
whole time.
Yeah.
So I think Roymond will just go kind of sit up in front of the bars. He'll be kind of clasping the gold symbol of Sarenrae that he has
Mm-hmm.
in his hands and just kind of running his thumbs over it. I just I guess I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit, because we might not get another chance.
Did you want about?
What is it that what? Wasn't there a man that you were gonna run off with a long time ago?
She gets kind of choked up. You just hear Tsudo go, "Wait, what?" And Nualia says, "That was a long time ago."
Yeah, but like, what happened to him? I don't think I ever saw him again.
She looks up and she says, she just gives you a wicked grin. She says, "No, nobody from Sandpoint's seen him in quite a long time. I don't think they ever will again. They say he made his way down to Magnemar to seek his fortune and never returned."
Why did he leave? I thought he wanted to marry you.
You will remember that part of your vision included overhearing that conversation.
Mm-hmm. I want to hear it from her.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if you forgot that.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Didn't necessarily want to admit that I had overheard it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nualia turns up and looks at you and says, "We were going to have a baby. He couldn't handle that.
Oh.
He left me. He called me a whore and a slut. I thought I was going to have a family. That time was what led me to find Lamashtu for myself, to find the only way I was going to be able to claw myself out of this hellhole. I did what I had to do. I discovered what the people of Sandpoint are like. The one person that I thought might be a friend, an ally capable of love, of loving me, proved that he was the worst of them all." And she just gives you a long look.
Royman looks behind him.
You look behind you?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Okay. He's not there behind you. I killed, just to be 100% clear, I did kill him in Magnemar. That was like the first thing on my list.
Yeah.
After like my stepdad.
I wondered if that was the case. Didn't I like see or like overhear him dying?
No. You overheard them arguing. You overheard the moment that she told him she was telling him how she was pregnant and asking him to like hoping that they could get married and start a family together.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you knew that
there
he
was
had
that was like the first taste of like the acrid taste in
that
the air.
was yeah.
I thought
But it
she
wasn't.
had like cast a spell or something.
No. You had felt a throb similar to something that you had felt in the Catacombs of Wrath later.
Gotcha.
And you like remembered that was that very strange and particular feeling.
So probably just like her connection to Lamashtu at that moment.
Right. You
Gotcha.
get the sense that tunnel, there was something echoing out of that tunnel that was not from her, but was probably more to do with the place that they had decided as their little secret lovers meeting spot.
So you said that you found Lamashtu here in Sandpoint.
Yes.
Is she here now?
A place of worship, and I believe a very old one. It's the place that I fled to when I had no other choice. I heard her speak to me.
I think we've been down there.
You found her shrine?
Yeah, I think so.
She nods and she says, "So I suppose you know all about it then."
Yeah, it's kind of a freaky place.
Freaky. She says, she looks between the two of you. She says, any place we go is a freaky place.
I suppose that's fair. And he's just got kind of a playful
With
smile.
your horribly disfigured leg and my horribly disfigured super hot body.
Let's just toot that horn. Why don't we?
Well, don't dislocate your new shoulder there, patting yourself on the back for that.
I don't think I could do that. I'm not nearly Dexy enough.
So, what was your plan after you became, this fiendish entity? After you got your revenge, did you think that Lamashtu was just gonna let you go and be done with you, or?
I had no intention of stopping serving Lamashtu. She's the only entity that gave me what I want. I don't know what my path might have held, but do you follow the beck and call of any deities that grant you your power?
Well,
we had an accord. We had common purpose. See no reason for that to change.
I don't know that it's so much I get what I want as it's I get what I need. And sometimes that's not the same.
I needed revenge, and Lamashtu was the one that could help me get it.
Is it possible that you just needed closure instead?
A lot of it, and burning, bloody closure, I suppose.
Ah, goodness.
I'm going to remind you that that if you want to actually try to change her attitude, that has to be rolled.
Yeah. I can roll again just from this whole convo. But...
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. But it's fine. I just don't want you to. Ooh,
that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have I don't know, man. That's fucking good. I think that with everything else, the covering her with the cloak and all that would be enough to kind of bump your that's going to bump that check up the few more points that it needed to be. And I don't know if she's like hostile, she's still hostile basically, but I don't know. You guys are in the middle of a civilized conversation. There's I feel like there's a little more nuance to it than that. She's
Yeah.
not just like unfriendly, but and her demeanor seems to soften considerably as she looks at you and she says, "There was no other way, Royman. I made the choices that I made, and they were the right ones. This town deserves to die. The people in it deserve to die. My father deserved to die more than all."
Do you think I deserved to die, Nualia? I live here.
She looks at you and she says, "Sacrifices needed to be made. And if that's what it meant, then yes, I would have sacrificed you too if I needed to burn this entire place to the ground."
Oof. Yeah, I think Royman's thumb is just like pressing very hard into the golden Sarin Ray holy symbol that he has, because he's kind of struggling with hearing that.
Well, remember, it's been years.
Yeah.
All that stuff happened, and it's been like 6 years or whatever.
Still, it's Royman is like hoping for redemption for her, and it's seeming, as the conversation is going, it's seeming more and more like he's not going to get that, and it makes him kind of sad and hurt.
Yeah,
that he can't.
I think that makes.
For her.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
So I think Royman, I think he tears up a little bit, like his eyes get a little watery. And he tries to kind of fight it off. Not well. He kind of wears his emotion on his face. Well, maybe we can talk more tomorrow.
She looks up at you and she says, "Well, I'm not going anywhere. For the time being. Would you mind handing me some food and a Lamashtu holy symbol on your way out?"
He kind of smirks, and he says, "Well, I can probably do half of that."
All right, just the holy symbol then. When you kind of go along with that, you see the one corner of her mouth just twinge up the most imperceptible degree. She nods and she says, "Until tomorrow, then, Royman."
He gives her kind of a little bow after he stands up, and he limps his way out of the room.
Yep. Okay. You walk out, and she just kind of watches you go, and you just see a little bit of pee leaking out from underneath the bars in Tessuto's cell. That's probably about it. You rejoin your companions who are out on the porch, just kind of hanging out with Absolar Xantus and Sheriff Beller Hemlock.
I'm talking to the father, because I have a little goblin baby.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you've got a little goblin child in your arms, and it's just playing with your beard. And as you're out there, let's just say that they're still talking inside, and you're out there, and Sheriff Hemlock looks over at you and he says, "Cardi, I can't help but notice you seem to have some sort of a little appendage there," and he points to this little baby that's just like cradled in your arms.
Yeah, that's ow, stop! No, stop, little one. That hurts. Okay, yeah.
Cardi, hold him still. I need to see that he's not sick.
Well, as you can see, Sheriff, while we were at Pistoltop, wow.
Oh, hell yeah, Vanya! You fix your like weird demon eyes on it, and it seems
I'm not a demon right now.
Okay, well you were. You're still fucked up.
Yeah,
what's your charisma at?
Oh, negative a bajillion. It's -2.
Okay, so you're already like basically a goblin bard. You have like the opposite of charisma. So
yeah.
Yeah, this it like reaches its hand out and it's going for a bottle. It seems to think that like one of your vials is probably like a baby bottle or something
No,
like
you
that.
don't want to drink
Um,
that.
But it seems like super keen on you.
Yeah, just making sure that it's in good health, because we didn't like
Oh, yeah.
examine it. I guess
Yeah,
really.
you,
It's alive and breathing.
Yeah,
That's
you
basically-
you look it over. It looks you happen to have studied goblin baby physiology in the past, and you know like this looks like a healthy ass goblin
I had a
baby.
number of them in jars back in the old shop.
Mhm. You learned
I
all about them.
well, uh, we were at Thistletop and we were fighting goblins and we killed most of them, but we came across Bruthasmus and his wives, or I guess they weren't his wives. I don't know. Some goblins.
They were the other goblins.
Oh, well,
Gut
he
bucket or
he was
rot
fucking
nose.
them, and they were having a time, and well, we managed to subdue them, and put there's, as it turns out, there's a prison in the basement of this top man, or is it a manor?
It's well, yeah. The goblins had turned it into a fortress, but it was basically it seemed to be some ancient I don't even know what you'd call it. It was kind of a fortress, I guess. But it wasn't anything
for the building we were in.
Yeah.
It was a stronghold of some kind.
Yes, it was some sort of stronghold, but you think that it definitely did not resemble anything like a present day military establishment. Like whatever kind of military they had back then, that's probably the type that it was made for. So definitely not like human troops and shit.
Yeah. But we subdued Bruthasmus and his consorts, and we were looking around in their stuff, and we found this little one, and well, I mean, it is a goblin, but it's a babe. I can't imagine that it's evil, so we couldn't just leave it there. And like, I mean, Bruthasmus and his wives, they'll be fine until tomorrow when we can get some guards out there. But
they wanted to eat it.
We didn't want to leave this.
We may have blown up some other.
Father Xanthus reaches his hands out to the baby, and the baby just kind of grabs one of his fingers and starts like kind of gnawing on it, not maliciously, sort of in an exploratory way.
Baby putting things in mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And Father Xanthus says, "That one's going to be a biter when he gets teeth. You can see that for certain." And Sheriff Hemlock says, I don't think I've ever seen a goblin baby before.
Well,
I didn't.
Surely they gotta exist for the
I thought they just
bigger ones to grow up.
I thought they just came fully emerged out of the swamp or popped out of eggs or something like that.
Mere legends.
Found this baby. Well, what do you plan to do with it?
Well, we were hoping that Father Xanthus might know of someone that might be able to help us. I mean, we were thinking about maybe trying to get him set up in the orphanage that Raymond came from, but I don't know if this one will do very well here at Sandpoint.
Father Xanthus scratches his head and he says, I suppose Master Gandalf might take a new student, although I must tell you, I don't think we've ever had a goblin in Sandpoint before. He strokes his beard and he says, I think that the people would be much less keen on that compared to an Asimar or a halfling. But if they're going to do it for anyone, I think the heroes of Sandpoint have earned the sort of respect needed to make that happen.
Well, I mean, also after hearing Noalia's little testimony back there, I'm not necessarily sure this one would fare much better. I mean, he might suffer some of the same treatment she did, and Well, unlike her, he's predisposed to being evil. I mean, goblins.
Give me a sense motive. Whoever is paying attention to this conversation.
Somebody please. Because mine
Okay,
is bad. Or I roll well.
Oh, could have been worse.
tell me what they're doing.
Oh, Blythe. Yeah,
Oh,
you see a furrow appear in Father Santa's brow when Cardi references the way that Nualia was treated, and he seems to be sort of biting back on some sort of strong feeling.
Father Xanthus, are you okay there?
He looks over and he seems to realize that you saw this pained expression cross his face, and he says, "Yes, dear. Yes, I'm fine. It's just I don't think that this baby will receive the same treatment Nualia did. She was worshipped in Sandpoint all of her young life. But I fear that she became more of an idol than a person to many of the townsfolk. Many of the folk are quite superstitious, seem to believe that her touch could cure warts and a lock of her hair could restore virility, and
Gross.
many
Being
other.
different in a small town can be difficult.
I had tried to speak to Ezekiel about her when I was but a novitiate in the order. He was always a very stern man, and he did not take my interfering, as he called it, so well. I did my best to be some sort of guidance to the lass, but I believe that Ezakian forbade her from spending too much time in my presence. Probably rightly fearing that I would insist on less harsh treatment. But now I see that I should have done much more. He says, a goblin child in Sandpoint. Well, we've never seen anything like it before, but considering all that you've done for the town, I think it's the least we could do. I'll speak to Master Gandalthus, or perhaps Royman should. He was Master Gandalthus' prize pupil after all. We just have to hope that this goblin doesn't turn into another Tessudo.
Well, I'm fairly certain that under the right tutelage, well, it might not be the greatest child. I mean, it is a goblin. It's not going to be very smart, but I'm sure it could be taught to be kind.
Perhaps I've heard of strange things. Not many, but a handful of goblins cross Galarian, find places in circuses or something of the like. Although between you and I have a feeling it's just halflings painted green, fitted with some sort of prosthetic nose. But who can say for certain?
If anything, a friendly goblin might serve as a useful ambassador to the goblins that live in the surrounding woods. Perhaps if raised right, he might be a useful ally.
Father Xanthus leans down and just kind of pats the little baby's head. He says, to be honest, at this age, they're kind of cute, aren't they?
Well, you're just saying that because your beard isn't long enough for him to pull on it.
It's like grabbing your beard and just like swinging back and forth on it. Just
honestly,
going ham.
Other than the color, it's no more disgusting than human children.
Yeah. Royman, I think you're probably done your conversation now. You had wanted to leave and join this one. Or Royman
away
just...
from whoever we're taking all those ears you collected to. As long as they're not near them, it should be fine.
Ah, yes, we'll want to keep him away from the stable master.
Goblins are innately afraid of horses. I don't think there's much worry about him venturing into the stables.
I suppose that's true. So they say, anyway. God damn it!
Nope, nothing. Chris is trying to talk.
Oh, suppose they could put up with one goblin baby after everything. I don't know that it will be the most pleasant life, but considering how goblins are normally raised, perhaps it will be a great improvement.
I guess.
Yeah, we found him in a bunch of cages. I mean,
And his parents, it sounded like they were ready to eat him if we put him in the cage with them.
We don't
so,
know
like,
that those were the parents.
Well,
I think the parent might have been the one I blew up.
perhaps. But the other goblins were all too eager to eat him.
You'd have to speak to Shalelu and Asana if you wanted to know more about the ways of goblins. I admit I'm a bit ignorant on the subject.
I
Just
think they are too.
just
Speaking
make
of
sure
Shalelu,
that
she doesn't happen to be in town, does she?
I believe that she's out scouting some of the other goblin tribes. She'll probably stop in from time to time, though. Certainly, if she hears that the crisis in Sandpoint is resolved, she'd want to come back and take a look at everything.
Well, we did manage to capture Buthrasmus and some of the goblins and put them in cells in Thistletop, and I think maybe since the raid seems to be at least on hold for now, while we have Nomalia captured, if not outright disbanded, maybe Sheriff, you could send some of your new guards to go and collect them. I'm sure Shalelu would love to see Buthrasmus and
Yep.
take her revenge, as it might be.
Justice.
Well, I suppose we can. I suppose we.
Same thing.
Yeah. I suppose we can go and clean up Thistletop to some degree, but as long as there are no. Well, I don't know for certain if I can take them out of the town, though. I brought them here as guardsmen, not as an invading force. Last we heard, Thistletop was overrun with goblins. It's a known territory for them.
Just the 3 we left there. It's all clear now. Oh, and the dog. There are some dogs there. We did leave the dogs tied up, but you might want to do something about that.
The entire fortress has been emptied?
Well,
no. I mean, the bodies are still. We didn't really. Should we have taken care of the bodies? Is that bad?
Well, we did grab the.
Well, it's not going to smell very good down there.
We did plan. There was a monster in the basement, I think.
Oh yeah, east underground. It was something with the tentacle. I can't remember what it was called. The big tentacle-y thing that drags people and.
Perhaps we should go with you when you go back.
It's an octopus.
We definitely need a night's rest.
He's stroking his chin. And he says, "Well, if the main invading force has already been dealt with, the soldiers will probably be on their way back. I don't know. It sounds like this is still a pretty kind of a dangerous place."
No, if you just don't go downstairs, the one area, but just don't go east downstairs, and then I think it's totally clear.
I see. So this is just we can just stroll right in.
Yeah.
No thorny bushes or poisons or anything.
No, you don't want to touch the bushes.
No trap bridges or.
It is in the Nettlewood. You have been to the Nettlewood, haven't you?
Not very far.
Nettlewood does have nettles.
There are nettles there. It's called that for a reason.
Yes, it's one of the reasons why we don't go there, and also the Goblin Fortress don't really like to spend a lot of time in there.
How about this? Perhaps tomorrow we can join you and your guards up there, and we'll bring Buthrasmus and his consorts out, and you can bring them back here to serve justice with Shalelu, and we'll I don't know. Maybe take care of that tentacular monster thingy.
It sounds like perhaps you should just speak to Shalelu and head out there. She's the ranger. We're guardsmen. We guard
And I think at this moment,
the
Royman
town.
opens the door a little too fast and hits Cardi.
Ah, what the?
Oh,
I'm holding the
sorry.
baby.
Oh my gosh, you're okay. Thank
Um,
goodness. I was
Stop jostling.
You're
Sorry.
gonna make it cry.
Sheriff Hemlock goes, "Holy shit, that door opens in. I don't even know how you were strong enough to do that. It
Oh,
was incredible."
darn, does it really?
It's a swinging door now.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
It does both.
It goes both
And
ways.
Royman's like, wait, really? And so he opens it and it goes in, and then he tries to open it back out and it won't go. And he's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Never can tell with those doors.
How did that even happen?
I think the laws of physics were suspended briefly. In any case,
The first world
it's-
might be leaking.
it sounds okay. It sounds as if you all may have some things to take care of back at Thistletop. And besides, if we all come out with you, we'd all have to split the bounty for however much that's worth. I don't think I
There's a
can.
bounty on them?
Goblins
But
go.
was there a bounty on her? Blythe will point in toward the room.
Nualia? Well, we didn't know that she was responsible, but I'm sure that something can be arranged. That's a good point, actually. I don't think
we'll give
the
you money for all the
adventure-
goblins you kill, but we won't give you any money for stopping the person responsible for the raid.
Well, there's not a place called Asimar Squash Stables where they're like Asimar ears packed up. Nobody expected this. I don't know if there's a provision for bringing her in alive.
That's fine. You can think about it later. But I would certainly think it would be fair to compensate us for, saving the town. Not that I would want it to be too much, but, a little seems fair.
Yeah, he looks over you all, and he says, well, to be honest with you, the thing that you've accomplished is far beyond what we would ordinarily expect, what we normally commission bounties for, but we do have some put away. And he walks over to one of the drawers, and he says, we've got a few things here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. He says, also, I've got some things confiscated from Tessuto's quarter. Actually, you guys had already looted Tessuto earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Took
so.
all his shit.
Yeah. He says,
Liberated his belongings.
we've got a few recovered odds and ends. Let's see. How does 388 gold sound to you?
Wow, that'd be very generous.
That's very charitable of you.
Yes. Oh, and these, and he pulls out 3 platinum pieces.
So wait, how much total?
So 680?
Nope. 3 platinum pieces are worth 30 gold.
Oh,
So
you're
3
right.
380 gold and 3 platinum pieces.
388 gold pieces and 3 platinum pieces, which would be another 30. Yeah.
I'm just adding the. I have them kept separate, so 388. So
And I don't suppose any of you would know about this. We had a couple come through. They traveled through town in a rush, and they dropped this. And he holds up a book.
What is it?
I don't know.
Cardi starts reading it.
Yeah.
A dark-skinned woman was rushing through town, but to be honest with you, her and that ne'er-do-well she were with didn't look like they were up to much good. we encountered them on the road on their way south. I believe they were heading to Magnamar and quite amorous.
Oof, he's gonna make it.
Oh.
It looks like a spell. It looks like a spell book.
Cool. I start looking at it and it's like, ooh, this looks to be a spell book. I think I'm going to enjoy this.
The boys and I couldn't make odds or ends of it.
Ooh, I forgot his name.
I can understand why these are written in an ancient tongue, and this one here is in Thessalonian, and this one, ooh, this one looks interesting. And I'm just like poring over the spellbook, like turning all the pages.
Sure.
Does it look like a black, ominous, like evil spellbook?
No, it looks like a well-kept scholar's book.
Okay.
I was gonna say it probably looks familiar.
Yeah,
it looks like Cardi's.
Did you study in Magnamar, or where did you?
Yeah, I
yeah,
it looks.
It looks like it's like a couple years before yours, probably.
Cool. Do you have a list of spells in it, or?
Yes, but he also says, in considering everything else, he looks around at you all, and he says, "You know what?" And this is the Sheriff Beller Hemlock talking, and he goes, "If there's one thing that this all has shown me, it's that perhaps this would be better served in for one of you." And he pulls off some of the banded mail armor that he's wearing, and he holds it up. And as you get a closer look at it, Cardi, you can see that it's like glimmering with magical properties. And he says,
"Oh wow,
my grandfather, or the previous guardsman, who was killed some time ago before I took this post, left this to me, and I've worn it faithfully for years and years. But I'm getting up there in age now, and to be honest with you, I'm doing much more ordering around than cracking skulls now. I think perhaps it would be better off in one of your hands."
Cardi is like running his hands over like the craftsmanship and says, "This is very finely made." And I guess I want to identify it.
It appears to be +1 banded mail.
Cool.
banded mail. Is that heavy?
I think it's medium.
Heavy.
Heavy.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's awkwardly stripping for like a minute. like really
yeah,
dragging the beach out.
like that, like banded mail is like full body.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
taking
to
off
Don
his
and
clothes
undons.
while we're standing here.
Sure
Yeah.
hope nobody attacks the constabulary.
Dang,
I'm trying.
It's a -6 armor check. Jesus.
Pretty rough. He looks up as you guys look at it, and he says, I suppose perhaps I could keep the banded mail if one of you would like to take the cloak. It's embroidered with the finery of Sandpoint Guards, but if that doesn't bother you, it's a captain's cloak.
The banded mail seems fine.
It's up to you all. This cloak also belonged to my predecessor.
Isn't that
If it doesn't come in a bottle, I'm not
plus
interested.
8 armor, isn't it? If it's a +1.
It's +1
Jesus.
magical bonus.
It's 8 armor.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
I don't think I could wear something like that. Blythe just kind of looks at it with her head tilted to the side.
Don't even think I could walk with it.
I'm fairly certain it's much too large for me. Also, spells don't really work well with metal. But Raymond, you're wearing some heavy armor.
Yeah, I could probably fit into that.
It's a little big.
I can make adjustments to the
I think you
sizing,
could
don't
sleep
worry about
inside
that.
the breastplate.
You're a medium, right? Or are you small?
I'm small, but
Small.
magical items change size when you put them
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's up to you all. The armor of the cloak. I'd be loath to give away both heirlooms of my predecessor.
Is the cloak magical also?
It is.
What is it?
Looks, Cardi, you would be able to identify it as being a +1 cloak of resistance.
This is a tough choice.
Hmm.
I already
Um,
got the breastplate. I feel like
Yeah, I mean
Raymond
you're a
is
medium armor person,
you?
right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's up to Raymond because
Oh,
You got a spell book. I got a
I got
breastplate.
true.
yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, I don't think
Damon
there's any
got
bombs.
2 swords.
I got 2 swords.
You
You got
you're
a
carrying
+1
them.
longsword and a +1 bastard sword.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You have 3 swords. You have a great sword, a +1 long sword, and a +1 bastard sword.
You don't really even have enough arms for all of them.
Vanya, you think that could be remedied?
I have some idea.
Did we tell you about how Walker and I came up with a fucking headcanon where Roymond becomes a centaur?
No.
So we typed it out in chat, I think.
Oh my
right.
God.
But like, so Walker and I were just talking about character stuff one night, and we got to talking about how Roymond is kind of the pack mule, and then we joked about
Yeah.
what it would be like if he was like a halfling centaur, and then how to explain that, and then it was basically that Vanya was trying to cure his leg, and it kept
Yeah.
growing him extra ones.
Yeah. Oh my God. Um,
We can
I'm
make
gonna-
this happen. Just tell me.
I'm gonna copy and paste the spells that you find in there, Walker. I'm gonna paste them into the. I can find that in the PDF. If my computer will work with me, it's been being kind of funky.
Funky junky.
It's going real slow.
Man, this is tough. This is a hard one because
We are on the border of R&R time for you guys anyway, so it's fine if I don't want to like lock us. The rest of if you guys want to go back and finish exploring Thistletop, that's more than open to you. But the time threat has been eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you guys want to rest anyway, so it's definitely not like, and we're getting a little bit late to like start a new branch of stuff. So if you guys want to like browse through stuff, consider how much, count up your goblin ears and all that.
yeah, we could
Yeah,
do a
totally.
little bit of shopping before we end it for the night.
Mhm.
That seems good.
Any of that is up to you.
Yeah, so at the moment, we just leveled up. Next level, I can craft magical arms and armor, so I can make as long as it's masterwork, I can make your armor +1. So
It is not masterwork.
okay, so you'd have to buy masterwork.
Yes.
I was wondering
I can actually
if you
start
could...
crafting it now, but it takes a long time to create
Right.
masterwork armor. Just period.
I
It's
was
weird that
wondering if you could make Blythe sword magical in any way, or if she has to buy another like a masterwork double sword.
if it's not masterwork, then you have to
Mhm.
get a masterwork one.
Okay.
Or I'd have to make one, and I can do that now. It just takes several weeks to make swords and armor.
Okay.
So it's easier just to buy one. And then
Mhm.
it's
Makes
weird that
sense.
like it takes like 3 to 5 weeks to make a sword, and it takes
Mhm.
1 day to make it magical.
So Walker, I've just pasted a list of all the spells that are contained in there.
Sweet. And we
it
haven't met
contained-
yet, so I'm actually
Yeah.
going to use that to influence the spells I get.
Well,
So
that's probably, you earned it.
I think I will take the banded mail because it's masterwork. It actually has less armor check penalty. So my armor check penalty goes from 4 to 5, but my armor goes my AC goes from 18 to 21.
It's a big bump.
That's just base, and then
Mhm.
fighting defensively would make it 23. Total defense would be 25. I'll be basically unhittable most of the time.
That's great.
Yeah. I just
AOE.
just don't ask me to swim or climb because I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Sure.
them
We'll
touch
just
touch
wait
attacks
for
will be
you to
something.
move well.
If you guys have to swim across a river, Royman is gonna be stripping before he does so.
Yeah.
So Sheriff Hemlock hands you this suit of banded mail, and he says, "It belonged to a predecessor of mine. He was the guard captain." As you take it, it starts to shrink in your hands to fit your body. He's like, "What the actual fuck?"
Don't worry
didn't
about
know-
that, Sheriff.
didn't-
Magical armor is actually very powerful and can adjust to
Mhm.
whoever's going
I-
to be wearing it.
I
Yes,
did notice that it fit me quite well, but I must say I wasn't expecting that. Suppose that explains why it did such a good job keeping me protected all these years. Although it doesn't explain how my predecessor died to stab wounds, so I guess there's that.
You have to aim where the armor isn't.
Yes,
Right in the face.
the person that was responsible for his death paid with his own life as well, but it was a terrible thing to find. And he hands it to you, Royman, and he says, Sandpoint's greatest son, may it keep you safe in all of your future adventures.
I think he kind of kneels while he receives it. Which
Yeah.
doesn't make a whole lot of difference in his height, but it's a symbolic gesture.
Yeah. Yeah, he you see a little tear kind of well up in his eye, and he just goes, and he just like pulls the tear back up into his eye because he's a fucking sheriff. He doesn't.
What a
He
man.
doesn't.
Have you guys seen how to Claudia with a chance of meatballs?
No.
Oh, does that happen?
The police officer is this like super macho man, and he's like at the end of the movie he's got like is like getting a tear, and he's like, no, get back in there, and he just sucks it back into his eye. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
So silly.
Legit happens.
As you examine the armor, you see that the initials CA are inscribed in it. And he says, the man that I inherited this armor from removed another great threat that was responsible for several of Sandpoint's lives. I can see no better holder of it than Sandpoint's defender in you, Royman. And he hands it to you, and it shrinks to suit you. And he says, Casp would be quite proud of you.
Casp. Okay.
Casp Averton. If you want to make a knowledge local check, and I think since you're from here, do it with advantage if you wanted to do it. But any of you could roll it to know what he's talking about. Not bad.
I'm really, I don't know what to say, sir. I'm quite honored. Thank you.
Well, Carter, you're not from here.
I am from. I guess
You've
I
lived here for a
I don't know.
while. All right, yeah, I'll give it to you. You know that Casp Averton was the previous sheriff of Sandpoint, and many years ago, there was a serial killer in Sandpoint that they just called the Chopper, and it turned out to be this like reclusive sculptor who used to like whittle these like beautiful birds out of wood, and he would never work on anybody's place unless the inspiration had come to him, and he would carve I think they called it a stoat or sporting a stoat or something like that. And you guys had noticed before that there were places where it seemed like there had been carvings on buildings in Sandpoint that had been struck off. And it seemed weird to you at the time, but you didn't really know enough to think about it further. And that's true, actually. That actually happened in one of our earliest sessions, but it's been quite a while. and you know that Casp Averton was successful at interrupting this murderer in his what turned out to be his final act, and they slew each other. He dealt him a mortal wound, and Sheriff Hemlock, who's a Varisian, in honor of that captain whose title he inherited, changed his name from Viscale to Hemlock, which is the Chelish translation.
Hmm.
Oh, gotcha.
But thank you very very much. I will well I'll always keep it. And if a time ever comes where I replace it with something even better made, which I doubt, I'll bring it back to you.
Well, perhaps we'll have had time to refill our bounty coffers by then. We could make it worth your while, but I would certainly like for it to remain in the hands of Sandpoint's own.
Absolutely.
He gives you a wide, beaming smile.
And Roman stands up, and I think I like hug around his waist.
Okay. He returns the hug, and Father Xantus is just like beaming with like grandfatherly tears, and he just says, he leans over to Blythe and puts an arm around her, and he just goes, "It's so touching." I haven't.
She does like a little clap,
Yeah.
like a little golf clap, but more excitedly.
Sheriff Hemlock eventually, when the hug ends, which I'm assuming Roman would eventually let go. He
Don't
wipes
role play for my character, man.
he wipes a tear from his eye, and he says, "Well, you all have been quite busy. I'm sure you want to rest and relax, and perhaps spend a bit of that coin over at the Rusty Dragon. I'm sure that Amiko will be more than happy to welcome you all there once again."
Oh, I could use for a
Oh
nice
my
hunk of
gosh.
bread at the
Mhm.
moment.
A pint sounds amazing.
Oh, a
Food.
pint.
Oh, the food she makes.
Let's
oh.
go.
And Roman starts like speed walk limping.
Mhm. Okay.
Towards-
Speed stumping.
Yep.
Can you be encumbered by armor?
No. I cannot
Your
be.
speed
My speed
Okay.
cannot be reduced by
By
anything
armor.
that is like related to armor or weight.
He can still be encumbered and suffer all the armor check penalties for being encumbered,
Yeah.
Okay.
which are massive.
You're sure
But-
you can't have it reduced by armor either. I know by encumbrance it can't be. But
Well, encumbrance is by weight or armor. It's whichever one's higher.
no, armor has
The
movement
lame
penalties.
curse just specifically says your speed is never reduced due to encumbrance. So
All right, we might have to dig into that just to be certain, but I'm pretty sure like armor has its own penalty, so that might change the calculus on whether or not. But we can, I don't know. You could go turn it in. He'd be like, "All right, well, let's take the cloak instead," or however
Yeah.
you want to do it.
all it says is that my speed is never reduced due to encumbrance. So I would assume that means encumbrance from armor or carrying things.
I believe that the movement penalty from armor is related to wearing the armor, not to
That should
the
just
weight
be
of the
wrapped
armor.
up in the armor check penalty, not the encumbrance from the weight of it.
So if you look at the armor, they all come with inherent speeds, like for what your speed is and how it's adjusted based on
Mhm.
wearing that armor. I don't think that is encumbrance related.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, just putting on medium armor normally decreases you a normal
Yeah,
30
I
foot down to
think-
20.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
encumbrance is an additional kind of thing that can influence your speed as well, but I don't think that they're tied in with each other.
Also, how are you wearing heavy armor?
I can.
Why couldn't he?
Oracles don't have heavy armor
Proficiency?
Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh god. We've started a whole thing. Weren't you already wearing banded mail though?
I thought.
I thought he was wearing chainmail.
I was wearing a chain shirt.
Oh,
Chain shirt.
I
Or
thought
maybe it was chainmail.
I thought your original.
I was definitely wearing
good-
heavy armor to begin with.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking at then. That's why I thought well, banded mail would be good for Royman. He had it before.
Just piece that together. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. As you guys arrive back to the Rusty Dragon, you see Amiko, and she is limping far less than the last time you guys had seen her. And she's just fixing up some food. And as she looks up to see you, Blythe and Cardi and Damon and Vanya, like a wide smile just splits her face, and she goes, "Take a seat, take a seat." And she's got like a big bottle of like some fine wine that you guys haven't seen before. And she's like pouring out cups for you all. And she turns over to her halfling partner, whose name now escapes me again. And she just says, "We're making salmon tonight." Kind of like sings it out with a much lovelier voice than your DM is capable of producing.
That was fine.
And she says, "Unless you want something else."
Nope.
You know what? Whatever you make would be awesome.
I think she made like a curry salmon or something like that for the feast. That was like really good.
Any of us are gonna complain no matter what you make.
Yeah, she gives you a smile, Cardi, and she says, "And don't forget the most pretty cook in town. Well, second most pretty after God damn it, my lovely partner." And you hear the old halfling behind, like from the kitchen, call out, "I heard that."
I have her name somewhere. I just don't know where it is.
Now I just can't remember where it is. It's not in the entry for the building for some reason.
That's weird.
Which you would expect. Starts with the B or C. Bethana Corwin. It starts with both. Yeah, you hear Bethana from the back holler out, "I heard that." And Miko just winks at you, Cardi. And they prepare drinks and food, and Sirdak Drakus is putting on is like reciting some sort of stand-up comedy shit that he came up with, and everybody else in the inn is just chilling and having some dinner and some drinks. And you guys are getting a welcome respite.
So I think Vanya will sidle up to the bar with everybody, and once we get our drinks, and say, "I'm not normally one for these emotions out in public, but perhaps a toast to us."
Yeah, sure.
It's
Absolutely. And I
been a-
freaking like jump the gun and slam my tankard into his.
yeah.
Well, we had wine, so you just broke the glass.
It's funny. It's funny that you think I'm drinking wine.
Yeah, a toast to us and our successful thwarting of evil and all those things, and hopefully nothing bad will happen to us ever again.
Ameko just grabs the entire bottle herself and lifts it up, and she says, "Here, here," and slams back a quick swig. She says, "I'm sure nothing bad will happen anymore. What a nice adventure for you all to have concluded."
Back to our lives as regular citizens of this glorious town.
Well, I'm not. I don't know that I'm a regular citizen anymore. And Royman will flash his new cape that he got.
Oh, this one
that's
also
different.
has like it's like a pale kind of bluish gray cloak. That's like pretty understated. But you can feel that it just there's some sort of magical energy on it that's making you more agile and fortitudinal. And it's got a little wow, I already forget his name. Casp Averton CA embroidered along the like the left breast pocket area.
So I figured out what happened. Scale mail is actually medium armor, and I thought it was
Okay.
heavy.
Oh,
Gotcha.
It's the heaviest medium armor that you can
Gotcha.
get.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
That makes more sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
As soon
you
as you
would-
said scale mail, I was like, oh, that was it.
Yeah, and for some reason I thought you had banded mail just because it's
No. So
But
yeah,
no.
to get heavy armor later, I could pick up a feat, and that's actually recommended for builds of my type. What
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
Right.
your
clear
build would
on-
be great with it. I was just like,
Yeah.
wait, do you actually have that? Like,
Yeah, so like I don't think the movement penalty from armor applies to me, but the attack penalties from not being proficient definitely fucking do.
yeah,
So yeah, I can't just ignore that.
sure. Yeah, that would probably be
and besides, like in
considerable.
another level or so, like making you +1 banded mail, easy. Like it's really cheap.
Yeah, I don't
Also-
know if I'm gonna commit a feat to it or not. I guess we'll see. Because
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Ha ha ha.
Well, I meant
Ha, ha, ha.
I actually didn't even realize I did that.
I will pretend to believe you, but
Okay.
yeah.
So what's our gold total then for the
Okay, so
individual people?
Let me go through stuff because I have notes, but I don't know if people have taken some of these items. I've tried to remove things that I know people took. Let's see. I have a medium chain shirt, but it's not masterwork. I think everybody at this point has taken like the masterwork armor and stuff. Masterwork scimitar. We have masterwork composite longbow. Is the one that you have? Is composite longbow you have?
We've gotten 2. I have one of them.
Okay.
I,
Cool.
I think we've gotten 2.
Then I have the other one. We have the Sihedron medallion. Did anyone take that and is wearing?
Somebody did.
Somebody should.
I didn't.
It's very good.
But it's evil.
Oh. That makes sense.
Somebody should wear that, says a disembodied voice.
Well, I don't know if you Well, I just meant because you get to cast Divine Favor on yourself as a free action. Havelock would
And
fucking
get
shit
False
for that. And
But
False
it's
Life.
evil.
Wait, you get to cast Divine Favor on yourself?
Yeah.
Can
You
it,
get a free action for Divine
Can it
Favor
be
and get
Divine
False
Once
Life.
Favor of
once
your
per
own?
day.
Can it be your deity? Because I would assume it's probably the deity of.
I think
object.
it's closely related to the deity of the object.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure if it would work for a good person using it. I mean, the rules for how divine spells actually like are affected like isn't super clear. Like, would that deity have to be the one to bestow it? I don't think so, because you can make scrolls of divine favor and shit.
Wait a second.
No.
Where's this Divine Favor thing coming from? I thought that was.
I thought that it could.
No, the Sihedron medallion was different. I think it might be the. Was there a different? No. Let me check my notes.
Maybe only she can.
I think she might have an ability that gives her Divine Favor, but Sihedron Medallion is just like False Life and Gentle Repose, and then something with Runelords. That we don't know.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Because it's like the Star
Yeah,
Medallion.
don't read that
and-
stuff.
I'm not. I looked up the PSRD.
Maybe I'm thinking of
equivalent.
a different thing then for that.
I do remember you saying that she had something that let her do Divine Favor.
Hmm Was
But-
it maybe her holy symbol?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm just trying to like.
Oh, I
have
see.
the things she
When
had.
Walia activates her Sihedron Medallion as a free action at the start of combat to gain false life and cast Divine Favor, but she doesn't. It doesn't
Okay.
do both.
She uses her spell slot to cast Divine Favor, and
She
then
cast
also-
Divine Favor, which she didn't have time to do against you guys. I don't think, because you guys surprised her.
No,
Wow.
she buffed up before we came in.
Oh no, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she knew.
Cool.
Because we were all like waiting, standing around.
Right.
Will he get her to drink the potion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we have the Sahedrin medallion. Whether or not we use it to sell it is up to people. It's a, +1 resistance bonus on saving throws. And then a free action false life spell.
So it would not stack with the cloak,
Correct.
but false life is kind of handy. I guess none of you are particularly evil though, so
Yeah.
Blythe is good. I don't think she's going to want that very much. Just not that she understands it a whole lot, but
it's icky.
it seems bad.
So, I did find the reference under armor speed that sort of implies a lame oracle is not slowed, because your speed is never reduced due to encumbrance is very similar, if not identical, to the dwarven trait. That's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And under the armor rules for speed, it specifically says, remember, however, that a dwarf's land speed remains 20 feet, even in medium or heavy armor. So, to me, I take that
Dwarfs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't dwarfs have a...
Well, the wording for the lame oracle is pretty much the same, I think, as the dwarf ruling for speed under encumbrance.
Yeah.
Dwarves have base speed of 20 feet, but their speed is never modified by armor. Actually, no, that's...
Yeah, they have a racial thing.
Mine specifically says armor.
Yeah, it does.
Right. Yeah, I thought dwarves had a racial thing for heavy armor.
Oh, I don't know about heavy armor. Just armor
Or
in general
something.
can't reduce their speed.
Yeah.
Slow and steady.
The things that I've read about lame oracles, though, is that armor doesn't reduce their speed either. But there's not very much writing on that.
Back that up. And I hate to charge you a feat for it, but that is a big bonus too.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go.
We can look it up.
But even now, like, if armor applies
So
to
actually,
me, I have
the
to move
wording,
it 10 feet, which is shit.
The wording in the speed thing refers to the armor speed as an encumbered speed, like inadvertently.
The wording of which thing?
So speed, medium, heavy armor slows the wearer down. Character speed while wearing armor is in this table. Humans, elves, half-elves, half-orcs have an unencumbered speed of 30 feet. They use the first column. Dwarves, gnomes, and halflings have an unencumbered speed of 20 feet. They use the second column. Which implies that the armor table is referring to their encumbered speed, and since his speed can't be reduced by encumbrance.
I don't know that I agree with that.
And then
because
on the encumbrance
So I moved
page,
10 feet in medium armor? That's shit, dude.
Well, what's your...
I can make Sven a war-trained mount for you.
The other thing too is that like on the encumbrance page, so encumbrance by armor is character's armor determines maximum dex bonus to AC, armor technology, speed, and running speed.
Yeah, I can't run 3 times.
Well, you're like, your speed is slow because you're literally lame and wearing heavy armor. So like, that doesn't seem weird to me.
So the thing is, like, on the encumbrance page, it actually lists the armor encumbrance, like the armor speed as an encumbrance speed.
Man.
So like armor and encumbrance for base speeds is like listed there.
It seems like they're treating armor encumbrance and carrying encumbrance as being similar effects on your movement speed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
And the thing is, like, encumbrance is actually determined. It's either whichever one is worse. So if your armor encumbrance is higher than your weight encumbrance, you suffer the armor effects. And if your weight encumbrance is higher than your armor effects, then you suffer the weight ones. You always suffer the most encumbrance, depending on whether it's weight of carrying capacity or armor.
You always apply things that are constant first. So lame applies first, reducing you from... Well, I guess your racial would reduce you to 20? Being a halfling?
Yeah, halfling starts me at 20. Lame reduces me by 5. Fleet
to 15.
Fleet of foot brings me back up to 20.
Okay, that brings you up to 20. And then...
And then if
Wait,
armor,
it says that at 10th level, your lame curse lets you ignore the armor.
I think it lets me ignore heavy armor, doesn't it?
Well, why would that be spelled out if lame affected all armor at level 1, why would it have a special one for heavy armor at level 10?
I guess I haven't looked at the higher level stuff. Let me check.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even.
Because
look-
it would
yeah.
already do that. Yeah, at 10th level, your speed is never reduced by armor. So before that, it is.
Great.
Makes sense.
I can only move 10 feet in combat.
If it
I
said...
can even war train Sven.
Oh, actually, no.
spell.
My medium armor says 20 on my character sheet, so I guess I'm fine. But I guess now we know this. If I ever go heavy armor, I basically can't before level 10.
So does medium armor not reduce your movement speed?
It depends on what armor I'm wearing. Apparently, the armor I'm wearing does not.
How's that?
I'm just looking at YPCG and what it says for my speed under armor.
That's probably right then.
It says 20.
Yeah. So
They
if
have
we go heavy
special ones.
armor,
Well, it's normally would reduce you to 20 if you're a human. So I would imagine it would reduce it by 5 for a halfling.
I don't know why it still says 20.
Maybe it's because you have fleet of foot.
Is that applying after?
Yeah, it should. Grants you an additional 5 feet, right? Because it says my speed is 30 because I'm in the travel domain, even though I'm 20 feet while wearing
Oh shit!
medium armor.
I think it must be applying at the same time as lame, because lame reduces me to 15, and the
And
armor would
scale
also
mail.
be 15, and then fleet of foot brings me back up to 20. That's
So
weird.
maybe
Sure,
they-
there's like an order of operations thing too that I'm not entirely clear on.
Well,
That's a really weird.
No, so fleet of foot overrides your base speed. So your
I
base
would
speed is
think
actually
so.
30.
Yeah.
Lame brings your speed down. You have 30-foot movement speed, or no, lame brings your speed down to 25, and then since you're not a 30-foot movement speed anymore, the medium armor reduces it by 5 instead of 10. So
Right.
That's why you're 20.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's super weird. Okay.
So because they apply in order, so like you wouldn't suffer the medium armor penalty at 30 feet, you'd suffer it at 25, and if you're lower than 30-foot movement speed, you don't suffer a full 10, you suffer 5.
So
5.
through a weird quirk of math, I move full speed in medium armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
so if you put on the heavy armor, what we need to get is like a little platform with some wheels on it and a broom,
The thing is,
and we'll
like,
just
heavy,
kind of push you along.
heavy
No,
armor
just
wouldn't.
fucking floating disc me, man. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Heavy armor wouldn't reduce your speed anymore, like, because it's
It
the same
would.
penalty.
It did. I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, because like on the at least all these stoneplate would, but like most of these
Banded
have
mail,
the
I
same.
think, reduced me down to 10. Or the banded plate or whatever the fuck it was.
That's
It was
weird.
mail.
There's something weird going on in the calculation there, I guess.
Oh no, it says 20 also.
Why do you have to have 8 different things that change your movement? So we have to
I'm
figure out
sorry.
which one applies first.
I'm
'cause
sorry.
You have different
Because
ones, and they're all
can't make
contingent
goddamn
on
character.
what the other ones are. So you literally have to know which one applies first to calculate it out. God damn, Royman dead. Royman's dead.
The leg is gangrenous.
You have to make me look like a fucking idiot asshole on YouTube.
Oh yeah, hi YouTube. Like, comment,
Okay.
subscribe if you think Ryan's an idiot douchebag.
So I think that as long as we want to sell the Sahedra medallion because nobody wants to wear it, I know Cardi
Unless
doesn't.
Damon
doesn't.
wants it.
It's either Damon or Vanya. If either of you want to like to.
I
No.
mean,
I don't want to tangle with that.
I don't. No, thank you.
Trying to keep Vanya out of the religion thing.
Okay. Cool. Well, let me.
Oh yeah, so gold. sorry, I got us distracted.
Yeah, I'm separating all the things. The Masterwork Manacles are still on Nualia, so I'm not going to get those. Actually, going to delete them. We've donated them to the prison now.
While
Yeah.
you're doing that, while we're at the bar, like after we've had a couple rounds and Vanya's feeling a little tipsy, she's going to look over at Blythe and say, you don't need this anymore, or at least not immediately, do you? And she's going to pull out the little preservative vial she has that has the top of your ear in it.
What were you? Why?
I have some ideas about some magical things that I want to try. So you just hang on, and your donation to my studies will not go unrewarded.
Do you have to have that out right now?
Ryan, you said that we got 5 gold for every necklace, or for every goblin ear, right?
I think Smitty died.
He might have died from all the math.
He might undead.
We might have killed him.
Slain.
Oh, there's the Bears of Goblin.
I think that's right.
Okay. One second. Selling the few things that we have in the bag because I can't carry a lot of things yet.
Don't hold me to it. Let me look it up.
Okay, I think I also wrote it down in my notes somewhere. Note, 5 gold bounty per goblin.
Brilvishki. But I think that's right. I think that the stable master, ex-adventurer Jabrail Visky, pays $5 per
And there's
goblin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. What's a bloop? Aha! Cool. Okay, that's neat. 2. Perfect. Everybody gets 942 gold.
Yes.
Damn.
A lot of gold.
943.
942.
Okay, got it. I am buying a masterwork sword then. Because double swords are expensive.
Yes.
I
And Masterwork
believe
just
that.
makes them even more expensive.
That +1 though.
You guys have a +1 longsword and a +1 bastard sword.
Well, Damon has a +1 longsword and a +1 bastard sword. I leave it up to him which of those he sells and whether or not he gives the money away. Because he did have both of them in his possession. I don't have them in my bags. I don't recommend you keep both of them.
Okay.
Keep the bastard sword, it's better.
The bastard sword is straight up better.
Okay.
It's also more fun to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
The only reason you'd want the longsword is if you wanted to go a one-hander build.
So, quick question, because I don't normally sell and buy things a lot. If I sold the old breastplate I had and like the current double sword, those are at half
Right.
gold, right?
Yeah. Half their retail value.
Oh, let's see what we got here.
Also, other question: do we still get a discount on stuff from the lady at the shopkeeper lady?
Yeah, I think probably would. What did I say it was before?
You said half off armor in Sandpoint from Sava.
One item, probably.
Okay.
Can't imagine I said it like You're gonna wipe this poor lady's business off the map.
We are a force of destruction. We are PCs.
She'll be fine.
Blind to inflation.
Okay. Does Ryman want to buy anything? That is the question.
Yeah.
I might make a shopping list for next time.
That's
'cause
fine.
It's a little late, and yeah,
Portable alchemy lab, baby.
you would.
I think you will be happy he did that.
Yeah.
I'll make you all the stuff. We'll make you all the health potions.
Ryman's just got
I
a
can
bandolier of health
craft
pots.
wondrous items currently, but I cannot craft arms and armor yet. So just keep that in mind.
Can you make things magic?
I can't make weapons and armor magical yet.
Without the
but
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
at level 5 I can.
Cool.
So we just got level 4. So anything that you are wanting to be more magical in the future, make sure it's masterwork now.
Yes.
Need some masterwork bombs.
That no. Bomb launchers. That would be a good investment. Just get rocket launchers for your bombs.
I think I might just sit on all my gold. I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna post the starting items survival guide again because I think it's a really good list.
I gotta look up copying spells and spellbooks.
You have to roll spellcraft to copy it over. And if you exceed the DC, then you succeed. It's just like copying a scroll.
Well, the cost. There's a cost.
Yeah, you have to pay for the ink and shit, but it's not. Oh, you want the specific cost?
Yeah, I need to know the cost so I can.
I was like, yeah, of course you can. Ah, jeez, I'm tired. Sorry.
Bomb launchers are like this one use. That sucks.
Whoa, I think I just heard one go off.
Sorry.
That was a bomb launcher right there.
Yeah.
I've been drinking
Space
so
House
much.
clapped on him.
I've been drinking so much of the sparkling water that I have like a bag attached to my doorknob of just cans of sparkling water. It's probably not good. I need to find a better way of doing this for the environment.
You should get a soda stream. That's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
A soda stream?
Yeah. It lets you make bottled sparkling water in your own house. You basically
Oh
just
my
add carbonation.
God,
to
really?
Your own water.
Yeah.
And then you can add like Mio and stuff and like flavor it.
Oh my fucking God, that's
They're actually like a huge thing in Europe. Like every fucking household has one.
oh dude.
And it will save you, like, it might be expensive to get. I don't even think it is, but like,
They're
it's,
not.
$100.
it's so much cheaper than buying sparkle. Like buying liqueur is so
Dude.
expensive by
Yeah,
comparison.
every time I go to the grocery store, I buy like 3 12-packs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely. I
The
mean,
starter kit is $70, but you can get them for $50.
that is so good. I gotta get one of those. I love fucking sparkling water, man.
I think you're out of your mind.
I think you're a fucking crazy person, but more power to you.
You know, fuck you guys.
We were in Europe, and it was fucking terrible trying to get just flat, like, drinking water.
You had to pay
I like
for
that
flat
too.
drinking water. It was crazy.
You had to pay for it, and they would look at you weird. All
Why
they
don't you
said
guys
was,
like sparkling water? It's very
It's
delicious.
incredibly bitter.
Yeah. Much better.
What are you even talking about? Not the kind I get.
Okay, well, I guess if you fill it with sugar and turn it into soda, then it's not sparkling water anymore.
It's sugar free. There's no fucking.
No,
it's like
have
LaCroix.
have you ever had LaCroix? Like, that's not bitter.
Okay, I just turned on this entire thing.
You guys are fucking heathens.
LaCroix also has a sweetener in it, though, doesn't it?
No.
No
No,
artificial sweetener
that's
at
the
all.
problem.
Okay. It's bitter as fuck, is all I know.
Yeah. It's carbonated water that got close to something that might taste good.
Y'all
Shift
die
in
are
a truck.
fucking.
Shift
I'll
in a
die
truck
on this hill.
alongside
I
bananas.
don't give a
I
fuck.
will also die on this hill next to
Hint
you.
of
Yeah.
lime.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I've
like you
tasted
just yelled
dishwater that
lime at a
tastes
can
better
of
than
water for a while.
yeah.
All right.
Somebody
Like
put an orange next to a glass of water.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I enjoy it too.
Well,
but
fuck
like,
you for liking it. How
Yeah.
dare
I
you
like.
like
I
things?
also like soda more than I should. So
Well, the reason I did it is so that I don't buy soda anymore,
Yeah,
which I don't.
I get it.
This became so I get like this little like powdered juice or whatever. I'll just put like a little bit of that in a big thing of water, and then just put some like sparkling water in with it. That's of like a vaguely
So
similar
you
flavor.
make your own sparkling juice.
I guess, yeah.
That
Actually,
sounds pretty fucking good, actually.
it's
I would
pretty
rather
good.
taste Smitty's sparkling juice.
Yeah, I'm
Then-
sure.
if you had a soda stream,
Drink
you could
another
just like make
LaCroix.
sparkling water, pour some juice in it, like stir it like 2 seconds, and you'd be good.
I'm pretty sure that you could just make sparkling juice.
Well, I mean, you're not supposed to dip the tip into sugar.
Oh, that's
Right.
true.
I'll dip it wherever I damn well please.
Tanner is fucking like spicy tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I
worked
can't even say
retail
anything.
during the apocalypse.
This is exactly the sort of like weird minutia that I would become like
For sure.
irate over.
Yep.
So, you know, I can't really like even contradict it. I'm just like, yeah, I've had way more passionate arguments about like fucking I don't fucking know, any kind of meatless option on a menu or something. So it's just like you know, way she goes. Well, thanks for playing tonight, guys. I know it was
Yeah.
like all
Thank
role
you.
play, but
No, that was
I
cool.
I enjoy
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird. You guys kind of like skipped to the turn-in phase of the quest before you finished some of the optional stuff, so it got a little bit dicey for a couple parts there because I didn't know which. I didn't really know where you guys were going to go, so I didn't know exactly what to prepare and like rehearse. So
We didn't know either.
right, doubt.
What are you? Wondrous item. So I'm buying a Formula Alembic, which I can use to distill a potion or alchemist extract into the knowledge needed to create the formula. By gently heating a potion or extract in the alembic for 1 hour, I create a few drops of this, blah, blah, blah. Basically, I heat up a potion, it lets me know what the formula is, and then I can scribe the formula in my formula book. And it doesn't harm the
Cool.
potion. Other
So
than
any
getting
potion you get,
Yeah.
you just add.
Yep. I mean, I have to spend the cost to transcribe the spell, but
Right.
That, as I found out, very cheap.
So here's one thing that I find interesting. The character wealth by level chart has level 4 characters at 6,000 gold.
It's completely
is-
wrong.
This is literally their flagship adventure path.
Yep.
And you guys are at what, 2,000 tops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not even a third.
My total
Or maybe a third.
My total equipment cost is currently 1,200, and I have 1,100 gold.
Right.
So I'm at like 2,400.
Yeah. Not even half of what that
Yeah.
table says.
I just
And this
realized
is
that I have a-
literally
it's weird.
their
I got
adventure.
Like
Like,
12K.
I just realized that I have a +1 cold iron returning dagger. We should sell that shit.
Because it's tiny.
Well, it's also worth a fuck ton of money.
probably.
Sell that shit.
However,
1 second.
alternatively, we don't have any other weapons that can hit ghosts.
Alternatively,
Well,
we give
can
it to
just
the
buy
base.
a
Magic-
masterwork weapon that hits ghosts.
Magic
like-
weapons can deal half damage.
Yes, but we don't.
Cold iron
Masterwork
doesn't-
weapons won't work. You need a magic one.
Does energy damage work on them?
Yes.
Yes.
Damage works fine.
Energy damage bypasses all DR. It's mitigated by resistances
However,
instead.
it still deals half damage because it's considered magic.
Eh,
It's
Yeah.
not full damage, but like
half
cold
of
iron.
2d6 plus 4s.
Well, like the thing
But I'm
is,
just
like,
saying, y'all could kill a normal ghost.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Ghosts
fine.
and
I
pussies.
mean, we just have to have Damon do all the damage because he's got the +1 weapon.
Well, he could
Damn,
also.
Damon.
I don't want to speak for him, but I imagine he could lend one of those magic swords to
True.
somebody.
This +1 returning cold iron dagger is worth a lot of.
Okay,
We're selling
fine.
it.
Fine.
Okay.
It's not gonna do much damage either. It did like 1 or
It's a
2 to us.
1d2 plus 1.
very low.
Like, it's a very bad damage. Let's see.
Fine.
Why
You can just have Cardi Frostbolt. It's the same.
It's a cantrip.
Yeah. I'm selling it
Can't
and then
trip up
dividing by
anybody.
5. Everybody gets an additional 1,030 gold.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Wow.
What? Oh my god.
It's
All right,
plus
never
1
mind what
and
I said. That
returning.
chart-
it's
that
it's
chart is pretty
equivalently
accurate.
plus 2 weapon.
Wait, how much is it? Jesus Christ, actually.
It's cold iron, so it's an additional like 304 gold, like 300 gold for being cold iron.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 gold for the dagger and 10,000 gold for being, I guess, plus 1 and returning.
How much was it?
Should be
1,000.
10,000, should it?
Well, that's
Or
what
is that the
YPG is
cost?
saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
'Cause it's
YPCG is
2.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a +2.
Does the
Yep.
size
You said
affect
it-
Wow.
1,004, you said?
1,030.
30.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got that. That seems wild.
Yeah, please double check that.
Let me double check that.
It was the little
That
fake
is
creature
an
in-
incredible.
I just looked at I was going to check my
this motherfucker bitching about the amount of money we're getting. And then as soon as we start eking up there, he's like, well,
Hold
You
on.
eked up. You
Better-
eked up like
better
more than
double-check that.
everybody's money.
I now can say that I have roughly 2,400.
He's like, yeah, you guys are less than half. Whoa, you're gonna double it?
Whoa,
So,
whoa.
I just want to point out, if I do
You're
sell
gonna have
this item,
75% of the
if-
money you're supposed to have?
No,
if I
that
do
is
sell
a
this item, my total worth goes down to 200 gold.
+1 cold iron returning dagger.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
sell that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
They should have just said her other gear is 10,000 gold, or just a sack of 10,000 gold that she throws, and it returns to it.
Honestly, that would have been better.
It returns to the economy.
It's called the stimulus blade.
1,800. 18.
Well, now I feel good. I have about 2,000 gold to copy out these spells.
Yeah.
The locate spell that
Good
you mentioned,
lord.
is that locate object in her book? In Lyree's spell book?
It is exactly as I pasted it.
It was like the
Um,
last word was locate. So
locate object.
Okay, cool.
Oh, did I not? The rest of it not come through?
It might not have, but I couldn't find a locate spell. There's
Right.
locate object and locate creature. And I just
It
found-
probably just broke in a weird place. It's locate object and then
Okay.
a minor image. For some reason, yeah, that thing always breaks at a certain number of words or whatever lines.
Oh, I didn't even see the second one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, minor image, obscuring mist, see invisibility, sleep, and spider climb, all handy.
All very useful spells. I'm very excited for this. Level 5 needs to come sooner.
Well, this chapter's weird. It's they don't get anything until the end
Just
of
throws
the.
it all on at the end.
Yeah, you just get all of it at once.
I mean, that sort of makes sense for what do you...
Well, you'd think I guess you guys did get that 10,000 gold dagger a while ago before
Yeah.
you went to Thistletop, so
Yeah.
theoretically.
Minor image.
I guess I shouldn't worry too much about giving you guys too much stuff. I mean, you guys struggled at a lot of portions.
We've
And
nearly
also-
died in every single
Well,
chapter so far.
this game is I find alternating reports. Some DMs say that it's a cakewalk game, and other people say it's a gauntlet. So I can't tell which one. So far for us, I think we're on the gauntlet side.
Yeah.
This shit is
We've
rough. So
worked for it. We
Yeah.
have definitely we've definitely come close and survived by the skin of our teeth
yeah,
several times. I don't feel like anything we've done has
Well, I like it that way
Invited more challenge.
in some ways because the bribing and converting that mercenary who then canceled out Lyrie as part of that final fight was like super crucial.
Yeah. Also, okay, portable alchemy lab and formula alembic. What's a med lance do?
Okay, let's see. Where's the magic page that I had open? Level 2 is 40 gold per spell. Ouch. This is gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
So one of the things we learned, I guess, is that the armor move speed penalty is unrelated to encumbrance.
Yeah.
Seems like a different thing, but they do word them weirdly in some places that I could see why you would think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since it's so similar to the dwarven ability.
Yeah,
That's what got me.
you're right.
I think that. So I did the math again, and I think you could flip it either way. I think it is not unreasonable to say my movement speed is 15 feet in medium armor.
Yeah,
Um,
that does feel more right to
because
me, considering that otherwise you're literally getting you're just ignoring the medium armor move speed penalty.
I think what happens is that Fleet of Foot moves me from the 20 to 30 category, and then the Lame Curse applies, which takes me down from 30 to 20, and then that's 20 at my base movement, which puts me in the 20 category for the purposes of armor calculation.
I disagree. I think it should be. I think your default should be 20.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
20. It puts me in 20 movement for the armor category, which would put me at 15 feet medium armor.
Oh. I thought you were charging yourself 10 feet for the armor penalty.
No, I'm charging myself 10 feet for lame because Fleet of Foot moves me from 20 to 30, and then lame applies afterward. Is the only way that makes any fucking sense. So then lame moves me from 30 down to 20, and then armor moves me from 20 to 15. That's how it makes sense to me.
I think the Fleet of Foot should just be. Wow, God, that does get really weird.
It has
really
to apply
fast.
first. Because it's race and then class and then armor is how I'm thinking of it.
That's not what they taught us in sociology. But
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Wait, how is that not what they taught you? Generally, race is like the first thing that you have, and then your class is inherited.
They taught you guys about armor?
Well, armor would be whatever you
Emotional
choose
armor.
to wear.
Emotional armor.
That's personal choice.
The
Completely.
armor that all the people that aren't in the number one spot on race and class list have to use.
I have DR over white people problems.
God damn.
Oh, that is
Wait,
too
does that
true.
mean white people problems go through your armor?
Yep.
Yeah, he's white.
That's the only thing that overcomes it.
Yep. DR over first world problems.
Yep.
Wow, I just spent 340 gold copying spells. Totally worth it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
you got them all
worth
now.
it.
Those are really handy ones to
Really good
have.
spells, and now I get to pick 2 new ones for leveling up. So this is great.
Very nice.
Don't you have to make a spellcraft check? I'm pretty sure you have to make a spellcraft check to copy spells.
One second.
You do.
Writing, once a wizard understands a new spell. Oh, I have to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
It's like a whole thing.
How's it cost money to copy a spell?
Because you pay for special inks and.
I can take a 10 and automatically succeed on all.
Yes, but it does take time to do so. You can't just
1 hour to study the spell and 1 hour to copy the spell.
Correct.
1 hour to bring it all, and in the darkness write it.
Where the fuck is all my carried weight coming from?
So I have to spend a day copying. Like the next day, I just spend copying spells. I need a whole day.
Yeah, what's just to get an idea, what's our time frame looking like?
Well, Bruthasmus will probably starve in a few days.
The
Okay,
goblins
I'm gonna
will be
argue
okay
from a place
because
that we
they can
don't
eat
care.
each other.
They don't have water, so.
Okay, assume for a second that I don't care. How many days?
I mean, I don't have like a. I'd have to like really read it
Downtime.
up, but this is sort of between adventures is the part where you guys are encouraged to more or less take a reasonable amount of downtime.
I just didn't know if it was like, okay, the next time we pick up is going to be like 3 months from now, or the next time we pick up is 3 days from now.
It's left deliberately vaguely nebulous.
Okay.
As to when that happens. So if you guys had stuff that you wanted to do, I think that would make complete sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it's up to us, but we should probably in character go back and get
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Preferably
use it for-
before you reach an age where you start taking penalties to your stats.
I'm a dwarf.
Yeah.
That'll be a long
I feel
time.
like, I feel like at that point, Bruthasmus will be long dead.
Yeah.
He'll be
there's
maggot
no
food
point.
at that point.
There's a lot of that's a very damp place, so maybe
Just licking the walls.
Okay, fungus food. Scribes. And
Man,
no,
I can't get YPCG to fucking ignore gold
Spellbooks.
encumbrance. It pisses me off.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a button
You can
for
turn
it.
I
on
There's
know,
a-
it's not working.
I just don't I don't record
Update.
my gold in YPCG.
Down.
Yeah,
just need to
that's
update
why I use
versions?
my inventory sheet.
Yeah, that's why I keep almost most of that stuff. Anything that's not impacting my stats, I keep it in a Google Doc.
Adding spell.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out why the fuck it thinks I'm carrying 103 pounds. And it's because I have fucking 40 pounds of gold now.
Yeah. Oh, boo-hoo.
That's actually not that much. 2,000 gold weighs 40 pounds. It's not that much.
I'm going to spend my money to make a bag of holding.
I would also suggest. Do you have craft wondrous items now? Is that your thing?
Yeah.
I would suggest a Pathfinder's pouch as well, which is pretty fucking sweet.
Do you have to do the decipher arcane magical writings?
Say what?
So copying spells into your spellbook is like a whole thing.
Yep.
So you have to record an arcane spell in written form, use complex notation. To decipher arcane magical writing, you have to make a spellcraft check, DC 20 plus spell level. If the skill check fails, a character cannot attempt to read the thing till next day. Read magic spell automatically deciphers magic writing without a skill check. So if we're able to take 10s on these, then we should be fine. I don't.
Hold on. I'm not. This is weird.
To decipher an arcane magical writing such as a single spell, a character must make a spellcraft DC 20 plus the spell level. If they fail, cannot attempt to read that particular spell again until the next day. Read magic automatically succeeds. I think I have read magic as it's read magic.
I think you might
it's a
need
cantrip.
read magic.
I can cast
because-
read magic on both of us. We can.
Yeah,
read
I
spells.
don't have to do it. Is the thing with alchemists.
Oh, Yeah, I
I do not have to decipher arcane writings.
Does
Which-
read magic?
and a cantrip. I have access to all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not worried about you having it. I'm worried about what it does.
Yeah, it just lets you read the spells.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure
books,
that
scrolls, weapons, and
we're-
the like.
if we can, if that'll let you avoid having to make tests or.
I still
I'm
have
just
to
not
do-
familiar with it enough because I don't want it to be a thing where we find out like 6 months from now. Oh, you can't actually take a 10 on that.
Well, I don't know
or
if you
something
can
like
take a 10 on that. I'm actually reading some stuff. It looks weird. Looks like you're not actually allowed to take a 10 to like for identifying magical items. You cannot. I'm not sure if you can on
Why?
spell book.
You can't on magical items? What?
So this is what I'm finding. Deep understanding. In addition, whenever you attempt to identify a magic item using detect magic or a similar effect, you can take 10 on the check to determine its properties. When you are maintaining detect magic to study an item to identify its properties, this suggests the concentration requirement normally precludes taking 10. Is this accurate and intentional? And it was answered by a dev. This is intentional.
Oh, so it's in the FAQ. Fuck. Well, I've been playing wrong for years. That's what that means.
Yeah. Normally, as long as you are not in a situation of danger, such as combat, being intimidated, or under stress, like climbing a wall, or being distracted by a traveling bard, you can take 10 on your spellcraft checks. However, as pointed out in this answer, and that's the one I just read to you, concentrating on a spell is considered a distracting situation, and you are not allowed to take 10 while concentrating on detect magic.
Okay. Good to know.
That makes sense.
So if you're using detect magic, you can't take 10.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Which does
That
probably
makes sense.
won't impact this, but it does impact.
Yeah, it does not affect spellbooks because I cast read magic on myself, and then
Right.
I think it's like an.
But it does mean you can't take 10 to identify spells or magic items.
Wow.
You can do it to identify spells because those are not.
Yes, it doesn't. Anything that doesn't require detect magic would be fair game.
Wouldn't. Oh, that's true. So spells you.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah.
Well, that's distracting because you're
Well-
probably in combat or.
Yeah, identifying a spell being cast requires no action. You must be able to clearly see it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're in combat, you're not concentrating.
If you're in combat, you can't take 10s, period.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But you could use. So you could use it to identify a spell as it's being cast, as long as you're not in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is a very fringe.
Well, there's a number of uses for spellcraft. Another one is creating magic items. You can take 10.
That's mostly what he uses it for.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
the
needs
reason
it
my
for.
spellcraft is so
But
high, is so that I don't
also,
have to fucking roll.
Let's be honest. This is going to impact what, 1/10 of the time you roll
Yeah.
to detect an item. Like you're going to have to roll very low to fail.
Well, what this impacts more seriously is cursed items.
Yeah.
You say that, but my spellcraft is ridiculous, and it's only gonna get crazy.
Yes, but cursed items typically have a significantly higher DC.
It's only a 5 higher DC.
Depends on the cursed item.
This is
Whatever.
cancerous. Just reading this.
But anyway, Pathfinder's pouch is pretty cool, and you might enjoy.
Pathfinder, I think
It's basically a mini bag of holding that it's like a secret pouch inside of it, and if any guards like try to shake it out or inspect it, they can't find what's inside.
Nice.
That seems like a. Wait, why does this cost 1,000? It costs 1,000 gold.
Because it can
To
hold
craft-
10 pounds of material.
No. It costs 1,000 gold to buy, and it costs 1,000 gold to craft.
Wait, how?
Yeah, right.
It should cost 500 to craft, right? Because
I
it's
know
half the.
it should. For some reason, the cost is listed as 1,000 gold. That's not right.
That can't be right.
I don't necessarily. I'm not worried about that. I mean, if they dump over my bag of holding, it's gonna dump out like 250 pounds of shit on them. Like that's their fault.
Yeah, but like you can't. Magic items and stuff can't be detected inside it. So if we find something that we need to hide,
Mhm.
or maybe we have a necklace that is evil, and we don't want people to know that we have an evil object.
Well, we sold that evil object.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
The Sihedron medallion?
I thought
I
we
asked
were gonna hold on to
I asked
it.
if anyone wanted it or if I should sell it, and if nobody wanted it, I'm gonna sell it. And nobody spoke up, so I sold it.
Oh, okay. I thought we were maybe holding on to it to keep studying it.
I mean, as far as we know, it's just magical. I'm not cast 2 spells. We didn't know about the scrying stuff.
True.
You pawned it.
We
Yeah.
pawned it. It's in Sandpoint, so if we ever want to come back and buy it.
Yeah.
They don't tend to get a whole lot of I think probably. Well, I don't know. I think maybe the Sage would be willing to buy it off of you. Because it looks
our
ancient
fan of Thessalonian
Thessalonian
crap.
Yeah.
I think both Cardi and I are going to be spending a good bit of our downtime with him, because this all seems to be they seem to be kind of interwoven with all of this, and like we need to put our heads together.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have a bag of holding now, guys.
Nice.
After
Awesome.
a day of copying spells and a day of crafting, I have a bag of holding.
Wonderful.
Dun, 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 dun.
They've got provisions for if Nualia escapes. They don't have any provisions for if she's captured and left alive. So
You're gonna have to wing it, I'm afraid.
I think they were coming up. They were like, "That's never going to happen."
Why
She's
would
either
they
going to
do
escape,
Bloodthirsty
either going to
motherfuckers.
escape or be swiftly stomped to death.
Yeah.
Happy to change the narrative.
I like it. I like. It's an interesting challenge or an interesting dynamic having like a group of nice, genuinely nice folk.
I think Roymond is kind of rubbing off on the group a little, because I don't
Cardi
know. That,
is legit good. Period.
true.
As is Blythe. KO good, but
But
still
there's a
good.
difference between like good purge the world of evil and good try to redeem everyone.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I suppose you're kind of the paladin of this group.
Sorta. I
Yeah.
guess I'm kind of following the paladin code of Sarin right here a bit.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You don't have quite that level of you don't have that specificity of
Right.
divine power.
Yeah.
You have a more general.
It seems like that's where Roymond is being drawn right now.
Mm-hmm. God, this game is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Pathfinder in general, not
Yeah.
my campaign versus.
I know what you mean.
I'm also buying a scroll of shield other so that I can make my item when I can. Next level. My father's forge hammer.
Can't you learn that spell or like copy it to your spellbook from the scroll?
No, it is a divine spell. I will need you to cast it.
Ripperino.
Who wants 1d8 plus 3, or I guess 1d8 plus 4 health potions?
Bro.
Is that the question? It's
Uh,
going to go to the
Roymond.
battery.
Hello.
All of you,
The health
probably.
battery.
Hello,
Yeah.
Am
I have
health
to-
battery.
Yeah, because I can make it. Well, I guess I can make a 1d8 plus 3 for 75 gold. So 3 extra HP for 25 extra gold.
Sure. So what should I write down?
Well, because I can only do
I
one
guess
a
you have to
day.
you have to
That's the
craft them
problem.
first. Yeah.
Yeah,
We can touch on all this next time. I
Yeah.
guess.
I
you
think I
guys
would
are gonna have infinite health.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Clearly.
You almost have to go that direction in Pathfinder in order to heal like reasonably, because the damage comes in so fast. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to.
So I guess since we're taking at least a day,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can
Yeah.
easily take a week with
Yeah.
no problem at all.
Yeah, it's not like Carrion Crown where there's a plot that we have to fucking
Yeah.
stop.
Well, there will be, but regardless of that, things are left nebulous, and like it is specifically called out that like after like between chapters is a particularly designed break time
Gotcha.
for people to craft and do stuff. It says like, hey, we know that like the sense of urgency is implied in a lot of this stuff to keep plot moving, but also you should provide downtime, especially like at these times if people want to craft items and whatnot. There's no specific timetable.
Yeah. The next day after Vanya had mentioned the ear thing with Blythe, she'll have like been up in her room toiling away into the evening and will come down, and I imagine, like, I don't know, I don't think Blythe is probably fully healed from resting, but she will Blythe, I have a gift for you, and she will hand you a little glass vial.
What's in it? And she'll kind of peer closely.
Hopefully it's something that will make you feel a little bit better.
Oh, do I have to? Oh, do I have to smell this
Come on.
one too?
No.
Oh,
One gulp.
Oh. She plugs her nose and like takes a deep breath first, and then swallows it.
And you heal for 1d8 plus 4 HP.
Cool.
Because I picked up the infusion discovery, so now you guys can take my extracts if need be.
Gimme. I'll just wear your bandolier. I'll just carry all your potions for you.
Unfortunately, they lose their potency if they leave my person, except for these extracts that I specifically prepare. But yeah, I can help.
Cool.
And your ear made it possible.
Wait, am I drinking my ear?
Not much of it.
He just gives you this wide-eyed look.
Trace elements on.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna hit the hay. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Glad you had fun.
I learned about my character's movement speed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm always learning something that I have done wrong on my character.
It's a never-ending battle.
Yeah.
Metaphor for life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's my fault for stacking so many fucking movement speed changes.
I mean, you were trying to find a workaround. I get that.
Yeah.
It's more that I didn't understand how everything interacted.
Well,
I still don't
it's
know that I do.
Confusing.
But yeah.
Wait, you have like four different things that are kind of all happening at once and interacting weirdly, so
I think it makes sense to do race and then class and then items. That makes sense.
I think so too, yeah.
Anywho, sleepy time.
All right.